I don't know who gave me the soundboard. Okay, we're good. And 3. Are we streaming? We good?
Of course.
Okay, we're streaming. All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 131, recorded on May 31st, 2017. On tonight's episode, our and your E3 predictions, what we've been playing, which is actually quite a lot. And we're joined by the incredible, amazing, one-of-a-kind Josh Thomas. Yes, he paid me to say that. Zach, cue the music.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Dads Podcast. My name is Zach Erickson, and tonight is May 31st, 2017. Joining me tonight over a bowl of Lucky Charms is Justin Masson. What's going on tonight, Justin? Hello, Justin. Justin, he's not going to say anything because I said something about Lucky Charms, and he's all about
my audio and internet on this side is really shoddy. All I hear is like every fifth word.
Speaking of shoddy, joining us as well is Jesse Waldeck from VGTribune.com. What's going on, Jesse?
Yeah, where our Lucky Charms is not $9 a box.
Yeah, I don't know. Now Justin's face is just frozen for me.
Not for me.
Yeah, I don't know. Weird. This is going to be a good time. Speaking of a good time, joining us from the land of the South is Marty Estes. What's going on, Marty?
Not much. Excited. E3's coming up.
E3. By the way, if I sound like a teenager tonight, I've slowly been losing my voice, and so if I get too excited, then my voice just kind of goes like this. I start sounding like Jerry Seinfeld. So I don't know. That was not faked, by the way. That was actually what's happening. So, speaking of fake, I don't know where to go from there. Is of course our favorite guest. Josh Thomas. What's going on, Josh? From the BitBlock.
I just want to say, Marty, that was a great intro, but you left out handsome and humble in the list there.
Well, I'm sorry. I get a little nervous when we start the show, and sometimes I mess up. And
I'm just
so excited to get going, and yeah.
I'm excited. I'm always excited to talk with you.
I'll give you a couple dollars back for that.
But the real question is, would he survive a 1,000-foot drop? Because apparently, a Switch has.
You know what? I actually saw that video, and I buy it because I think that Joy-Con exploded and absorbed all of the impact. That's what the video looked like. But I don't know.
I didn't see the video yet, but I saw the thumbnails all day today, and then just as we're starting to talk, Kotaku tweet comes by talking about it. I'm like, oh yeah, let's bring that up.
It could be fake news. I don't know, but it's possible.
You know what? You know your system is a success when people are dropping it off of a 1,000-story building. Yeah. That's when you know you've made it.
Wait.
It'd only be 100 stories.
Oh wait, yeah. That's when you know it's a real big success, when people actually find a 1,000-story building to do it.
They just build one just for that.
Just for the yeah.
Yeah, right on. Well, hey, we got a lot. We got our E3 predictions. Josh, it's awesome to have you here for our E3 predictions, and we are going to get straight into it. And this isn't the news, but it's brought to you by
OneUpBox.com, and you can go over there to that website, type in the code Nintendo Dads, and get $3 off your first box. And you know what? I just got my new box this past week, and every month it's like a little happy bomb delivered. That's not a good illustration, is it? You know, bombs don't need to be delivered by mail.
That sounds like an innuendo, is what that sounds like.
Yeah, it's like a warm hug gets delivered to my house every month, except that hug this month was from Superman and Spider-Man and the Flash. And Batman.
Warm hugs every month? You must be talking about our good partnership with OneUpBox.com, Marty. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And part of that warm hug is part of that warm hug is the exclusive T-shirt that you get every month as well. So you should go over there and check them out. They're pretty good guys. Thanks for sponsoring us, OneUpBox.
They're much better than us.
Yeah.
You were now you were showing up twice on my screen for a while there. It looked weird.
Yeah, that's twice the awesomeness. You're welcome. Moving on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Justin Masson in his sassy form tonight.
It only appears before 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Yeah.
And if you miss it, you get to time travel, set your clocks ahead, and then maybe you'll find it again.
There you go.
It's like catching that rare Pokemon. It only spawns at night.
Nice. So tonight, or this morning, Justin, we are going to be doing our, that's what we call localization. That's
it's good. It's nice.
What we're doing is of course, our E3 predictions. I was on We the Gamercast with Sean Capri, and we did some of this. Released last week, so you guys can go and check that out for some other predictions if you're hungry for E3 predictions. But tonight we're going to go through our own predictions. Now, remind us, everybody. I'm sure I could probably look this up, and I will. What is the actual date of E3 2017?
June 13th is Nintendo's press conference.
All right,
that's the only one that matters.
That's like 2 weeks away, Justin. Yeah.
What?
It's true.
Well, I mean, there could be some other stuff for Nintendo. For us, like the Ubisoft conference, we may get some stuff.
It's Ubisoft, not Ubisoft.
Is it?
Yeah. According to Ubisoft.
Oh.
According to Ubisoft, it's Ubisoft, not Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Well, same way. I can say the same about Mojang, and no one else pronounces it that way.
Boo. See, that's called localization. That's what that's called.
Pronouncing it wrong.
Yeah, you know what? Tell that to poor Pietro when he moved to North America.
Speaking of fun predictions and E3, I was actually on Gamercast with Bobby Pauls. Nope, Geekcast, Bobby Pauls, and they did E3 predictions. And tune into that one because I do E3 predictions, but I make everything a Nintendo prediction, despite the fact that it was different companies. So. My version of the new Assassin's Creed is actually in Mushroom Kingdom, so take a peek at that.
That's awesome. So how we're going to do this tonight is basically we're going to go around in a circle, like we already are. We're already sitting in a circle, and so we're going to go around in a circle.
Crisscross applesauce.
Yep, exactly. And so we're going to go through each of them. How many do we have? I have more than 5. So did we say 5? We'll go with 5, and then we'll do some like honorable mentions and such.
I have 7.
You have? I actually have 7 also.
So why'd you say you had 5?
Well, I have
localization.
Localization.
It's really just because Zach and I are overachievers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just making up for
me. I
me.
think it's because you can't count.
Yeah. So, I looked at my thing, and I originally had 5, and then I invented 2 more, which is what you do, right? So basically, yeah, I think what we're gonna do is Josh, you being the guest, I think it's only appropriate that you go first and give your first prediction.
Okay.
So
do we also do kind of a how likely do we think this is to actually occur?
If you want to, yeah, you could. I think that's definitely a possibility, but just whatever you think. If you want to preface it with saying like, you know what, this is definitely like occur, or like acknowledging that it's a safe bet or way out there.
Sure. And then do we have like one person weigh in on that and tell them how wrong they are? I'm looking at you specifically, Marty Estes.
Well, I'm not going to talk about Donkey Kong, so.
You son of a.
Yeah. Justin, do we need to put an explicit tag on this podcast?
Just give me a couple minutes. I'll simmer down.
All right. So, Josh, what do we have for for your first prediction?
Okay, prediction numero uno. See, localization. I'm gonna say it's gonna be Pikmin. I mean, this is if you gentlemen remember, Pikmin was the first game announced for the NX. Before we knew anything, it was Pikmin, and yet haven't heard about it. Now, some people might be like, "Oh yeah, that's because the 3DS game is what Mr. Miyamoto was talking about." I don't buy it because he specifically said the Pikmin team was working on a new game. Hey Pikmin is developed by a totally different studio. So I think we will see Pikmin. It is going to be the year of the Pikmin, and I will be very excited about that.
Tell me a little more about Pikmin. Like, what do you think it's going to be? It's going to be Pikmin.
I am terrified that it's going to get the Star Fox Zero treatment, and they're going to reboot it, because that was one of the rumors, that it's going to be a rebooted Pikmin game. And that is very scary to me, because I don't think they need to reboot it, because it has evolved in all the most glorious, correct ways. I would not want them to go back to square one. So I don't know. Like, I have this hunch that it's going to be like, hey, we brought Pikmin back to its roots. And... Can you already see? You can see the PR email now, guys.
Oh, bad.
Oh, absolutely.
Guys, let's just acknowledge the fact that Josh is right. It's going to be Yarn Pikmin.
That's almost what Hey
Pikmin's Woolly World.
Well, Pikmin has been clay form for the advertisements of Pikmin 2. That was clay.
Yeah.
I actually wouldn't mind that. After I said it, I was like, that might not be that bad.
It's a sequel to Street Fighter 33 and a third.
You know what I would love for that, though, is I don't know if you played any of the Tomorrow Corporation games. No, you did. I know you did, Josh. You played World of Goo. Can you see them doing pointer controls like that for Pikmin? Like, to me, that almost seems, because that's the best way to play Pikmin 3 for me, at least. Like, is that what you would...
Oh my gosh, yeah. I one of my biggest concerns going into the Switch before we knew about the controller was, oh man, I do not want to play Pikmin with an analog stick. Like, I mean, to move, yes, but like to point, that is so... I mean, that has evolved the series in all the right ways, those controls. So I'm very happy the Joy-Cons can do that. I would be shocked if they didn't do it that way.
And hopefully they can do it better than Tomorrow Corporation did, because they seemed to get like a good first draft, but then weren't interested in tweaking it and perfecting it without like those games kind of have drift, you know.
Well, that's what I was going to mention. People were telling me that it was just me. I actually do have
I've had it before too.
Okay, well, I think I do have defective Joy-Cons, because it really drifts for me with that. Like, so I don't know if it's just my Joy-Con is broken and I'm too stupid or lazy to just send it in.
I have one.
But yeah. I feel like, the sensor bar is like, I almost wish there was a sensor bar for the Switch. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's like that sensor bar is actually really helpful for pointing games.
I know with Breath of the Wild, I'm playing it in handheld mode, so they're attached to the system and doing the gyro aiming for like shooting arrows. And if I'm sitting there waiting for a certain target to happen, I'm not moving, but the view will still drift around a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
But I haven't had any other issues with the Joy-Con besides that, so I'm not
Yeah,
sure if that's the game or
too. Yeah, because there is no accelerometer in the actual Switch console itself, right? It's all just in the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, I think it's specifically in the right one.
Yeah. Well, I think it's in both, because you can use either one when you do the Tomorrow Corporation pointer games. So.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, okay. So Pikmin, right on. Marty, what about you, man? What's your first prediction?
I'm going to go with the softball first. So this is one of those that I feel like is extremely likely going to happen. And that is that we will definitely see details and, I mean, like maybe even story about Mario Odyssey, and a release date of the Friday prior to Black Friday will be set.
What is that date? Do you have an exact date for
that? Will be... You had to ask.
I did.
That will be
17th.
November the 17th, because they typically release Mario games on a Friday or a Sunday.
And you're saying that they are going to announce that date at E3?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I think that is going to be Mario Odyssey is going to be their big holiday push game. You know, there's always a game that Nintendo comes out with, and it hits in November, and it's supposed to carry the system sales through the end of the year. So Mario Odyssey is going to be that. They've already told us it's coming this year, most likely. And we haven't heard anything about it. We heard rumblings when it was announced in January, this game is pretty much done. They're just polishing it. So why not release it in November, and why not make a huge Christmas push with Mario Odyssey? And because, I mean, everything that's pointing to it, you know, being open world and everything, is drawing those Mario 64 players and Mario Sunshine players back. It's gonna sell Switches, you know. And even if I would even say that they may do a bundle. There may be a Black Friday bundle of Mario Odyssey and a Switch.
I would maybe build off of that, Marty. Like I think you're 100% right. I also think that's the same prediction of when I wake up in the morning, I will be breathing air, right? Like that's a pretty soft softball, right? But I do also think maybe to add to that, I think we could see customized Joy-Cons.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, do you mean just like Mario Colors or?
I think either more Mario Colors for the bundle, but I also, I think what we're beginning to see from Nintendo is that, hey, we're releasing a new game, so we're going to have a new Joy-Con color.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see that for them for every single first-party game they probably put out. So I think you're going to see some kind of customizable Joy-Cons. I think they may actually do a little bit more love and care to it than just kind of like, the Splatoon ones are pink and green. Am I right on that, if I remember correctly? But I think they may do a little bit more of a customized kind of design or artwork as opposed to just a color splash. But I would definitely not be shocked by that, Marty.
I don't know if you saw the bundle for Monster Hunter Double Cross in Japan, but they actually have like a special dock. Like it's the same thing with like a bundle, but the dock has some sort of design on it, and the Joy-Cons I think are. Let me see if I can pull it up here.
They did some extra love to it then, eh?
I would love to see them with this maybe do like a red and blue Joy-Con, and the buttons on the one that's blue be like the yellow of Mario's buttons on his overalls.
Yeah.
Maybe like the Joy-Con sticks be brown like Mario's hair or mustache or shoes or something like. I can definitely see them doing that.
Yeah,
but,
a little bit of detail and love, hey?
Yeah. So those look really cool.
It's just the dock though. It's actually not it's just regular gray Joy-Cons. By the way, this game, I know we're not doing news today, but this game looks pretty awesome.
And the bundle sold out in seconds in Japan.
Well, and I know we're not doing news, but the thing I think that no one's talking about the fact is that game is cross-platform. That's the thing that nobody's talking about.
Yeah, this game is a port of a 3DS game that's already out in Japan, so it's not a brand new game. Like Monster Hunter, it's already out.
The fact that you can play your 3DS and the Switch together on the same game. The same local play that's a huge thing.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I know Victor Lucas from Reviews on the Run mentioned it, but he was the only coverage I actually saw covering that, and I was like, that's a good point. And I think that's one of the reasons why the stock went so high so fast. But sorry, that's a digress completely.
Yeah, that's some good cross-pollination sort of stuff. So was that your prediction, Justin? Like, did you already say that?
What
was that yours with the?
No, I just wanted to build on that because I thought Marty was right, but I thought let's tune that up a little bit. Let's go a little more crazy.
All right, cool. I like it. All right, Jesse, you are up, good sir. What is your first prediction?
Okay, so kind of playing off the idea of having new Joy-Cons in different colors, especially in the Mario game. I'm thinking that as part of the new color scheme, they may introduce an actual D-pad with a new left Joy-Con.
Nice.
Because I know a lot of people are looking forward to actually wanting to have a real D-pad, especially when it comes to Virtual Console games, which, again, not yet announced, and hopefully at E3.
Nice. So your prediction is a Joy-Con with D-pad.
Yes.
What would they call that? Like a Joy-Con Pro or something? Or
you can see the branding already.
Oh, I hope not. That sounds horrible. But probably.
Very cool.
That's exactly what I thought they would call it.
The new left Joy-Con.
Yeah.
XL
Pro.
No, I never want to see the new branding ever again. New Joy-Con XL left -left.
Pro U.
Yeah. I put the little lowercase I in there as well.
Light. L-I light.
Yeah.
Nice. It's terrible. Okay. So a Joy-Con. Did you guys see the video? It was actually from Sean. Sean Buckley from Engadget. I used to do a podcast with him called Infendo Radio way back in the day. He had this 3D printed thing that he literally just like stuck to his left Joy-Con that was like a 3D printed D-pad. And he I don't know, apparently it worked, except it like dinged up his left Joy-Con. But I think an official solution for that would be nice. Absolutely. Very cool. All right, Justin, what is your prediction numero uno?
I'm going to go with, which one do I want to go with here? I gotta go with a little bit of a crazy one.
All right.
I think the OS is going to get a major firm update that week, and it will be in correlation with the rollout of the app that they are functionally using. So you will see the voice chat, you'll see all the OS functional changes that are going to occur that week. And the reason that they're doing it that week is because they have the launch of ARMS on the Friday, and what you're going to find out is that ARMS has voice chat enabled, and you can set up matches and tournaments.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
And I think I think that it's all going to come together in that kind of crescendo.
Can I ask something here? I was playing around, in one of the games on the Switch, and I was actually trying to just get it to update. I was trying to get Minecraft to update yesterday, and I noticed that you can share. There's always been that option to share updates locally.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed yesterday, and maybe you could tell me if I'm maybe seeing this for the first time, maybe I was just ignoring it or whatever before, but now under that it says this is a feature that will be enabled in a future system upgrade.
Also, it's not there right now.
And I don't think that text was there before.
Weird.
I don't think it was there either.
So where are you going for that, Marty?
Go like into any game and press start on it, and
Yeah.
say update, or manage, and there'll be a thing there that says via local.
Yep, you can.
And
change.
under that, there's some text. Now.
Hmm.
And what and the reason I'm bringing that up is because Justin, I think I'll scratch your back because you scratch mine. I think you're exactly right. In fact, that was one of my predictions, was that we were going to get an OS upgrade. Maybe not then, but by the end of the summer.
I think they're going to do it beforehand because I think they have to do it before Splatoon hits. That's their major one. That's why all those infrastructure pieces are coming into place.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
so
why I say end of summer, because if we're thinking summer is July, the end of that is July. I was thinking maybe it launches with Splatoon.
Yeah. So here's a thing as well this is some news from this week that we can kind of back this up with. So they were talking, the developers of Splatoon in the latest edition of Games Magazine. So this is a quote from the Splatoon 2 developers. And he starts this off with something that always makes me worried. Starts off by saying, "There is no need for concern." So
that's always a great way to start a statement.
Yeah. He says, "The reason we included voice chat is because we wanted users who already know each other to enjoy the game more deeply using a communication tool that's linked to the game. Voice chat can only be used when playing with someone you know, such as in private matchmaking. Voice chat with someone you don't know in random matchmaking won't happen. You can utilize in various unlockables of the games. You can utilize them in multiplayer mode, the things achieved in hero mode, even more than the previous game, and conversely, blah, 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 blah." So that app is going to be, like, that seemingly confirmed that it's going to work in Splatoon. I definitely think that if it is launched, it would be with Splatoon and not beforehand with ARMS. I think it would be smart for them to retroactively go back to ARMS and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and patch in voice chat for those.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if all of a sudden what you'll see is, you will see that listing of like the games that you can play online, such as Splatoon, ARMS, and Mario Kart 8 are now available, right? Yeah. Like and I do think you're right. So I think that'll be interesting. So yeah, that's my first crack at it.
Very cool. Right on. So I'm actually going to continue on with that, and what I'm going to say for just kind of in regards to the online stuff, what I'm going to call, I don't know what it's actually going to be called, but like this Nintendo Live service, the paid service. Well, I guess it's still free until the fall, right? So it's free until the summer, but I think they are going to detail it. And I made this, basically, what do you expect? Or what did you expect is sort of the, if I was creating the tagline for this online service, that's what it would be. What did you expect? Because it's going to be pretty underwhelming. It's going to be just like the there's going to be some online chat features and maybe some matchmaking that you do through your phone, which will kind of be novel. But other than that, it's not going to blow anybody's socks off. There's going to be whiners about it. And also, they are going to detail their, what I would call Virtual Console Plus, those updated retro games. Those will actually get a little bit more of a spotlight because they're going to be a selling feature for the service long term. And they're going to incentivize people to try out this service during the free period by incentivizing them with those games. Like play Mario Kart SNES version online with friends or something like that. And so that Virtual Console Plus is going to really, they're going to use that as a draw to bring more people in. So yeah. And of course the voice chat's going to be part of that. The app's going to be part of that. But overall, really underwhelming.
Do you think with the app, and this is something that I was realizing as I was playing ARMS actually this weekend, one of the things that frustrates me about, or that I'm hoping the app will do, is some ability to share pictures or videos that I've taken on my Switch through the capture to the app.
Like having them all upload from there onto their servers?
Yeah. So what I mean by that is that I have the ability to select an option where I can have those, like if I take a photo in a game, it is now available on my phone in that app.
That would be awesome.
I doubt it.
Because then it's socially easier to share.
I doubt it.
I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to just text a photo from my Switch. You know, because I don't want to share it on social media, but I think there's like one of my friends might think it's cool. Yeah. You know, or I can make a meme that would be funny to me or funny to them. But like you only have the option, like if I want that picture or even just to use it as, like my cover art on Twitter or something. Mm-hmm. I don't have an option to do that because I have to put it on social media and then download it from a computer or from my phone. Yeah. I mean, the fact that they can't even show you that it's on social media, the fact that the system says you'll have to go to another device to see if this posted is, let's just call it what it is. It's pretty much bullcrap.
Yeah. The fact, this weekend I was taking screen caps for ARMS, and then I had to singularly tweet each picture individually from my own personal account. Then I went out on my phone, saved them onto my iPhone, deleted the tweets off my personal account, took those 4 photos, put them on our Nintendo Dad's account, and then sent them out.
Okay,
and I was here's that's a lot of work.
Here's another solution to that, though. Like, yeah, I highly doubt that they're going to do that for 2 reasons. Number one is that what you're wanting is an incredible amount of bandwidth for them to upload all of those photos. Like nobody, like you're talking like something similar to what like Apple or Google has as far as online photo storage, and the number of hard drives and things like that. The space to store all of those photos is I think a huge barrier to entry there. The second is there is an easier way to do that. You simply remove the SD card and plug it into your computer, and then you can get all of them onto your computer. So
you're presuming it's running off the SD card.
Well, if that's something that's important to you, then you should do it from the SD card. So that's what.
And that statement right there shows a flaw in logic, because I shouldn't have to remove my SD card in 2017 from an advanced device that there is supposedly advanced to get my photos. I mean, when everything's cloud based.
It would be nice. It would be nice, granted, but I don't think that it is a big. I don't think that, like, if you think about the number of people who would do that, I don't think that it is a big enough priority for them to prioritize that, like a big enough draw for them to prioritize that in year 1 or 2 of the Switch.
Well, here I'm going to make you guys feel like it's way more convenient for you than me. One of the things that happens when I'm playing the Switch with friends. They have this little thing they do where if they're losing in a game, they just keep spamming the screenshot button because they know it's going to annoy me. And my whole screenshots are just filled with the same picture about 50 times. And so whenever I want to share an actual screenshot, I have to look through all of these screenshots. They are sore losers. That's what I'm getting at here.
That's garbage. You have bad friends, John.
I do.
I can't tell you how many times when we were playing ARMS this weekend that the screenshot button just as going like this, and then the screenshot button goes off, and I'm like, Nick, what? Like my son was just pressing the button as he was waving his hands. But anyway,
another way around that, which would be required, an update in the OS. So, which plays off of Justin's prediction, is they can do it something similar to what Android phones do. Plug USB-C into the system, plug the other end into a PC, and tell it be a hard drive.
Yeah.
It does open up the possibility of people jailbreaking the device, which is probably the reason why they're not going to do that.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Josh, what's your next prediction?
Did Jesse go already?
I did my first one before Justin. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm actually going to just kind of piggyback on that whole idea of like the virtual console stuff. I'm going to say that they actually do talk about the virtual console for the Switch. And what I think one of the things that they're going to really lead with is they're going to talk about GameCube games being downloadable on the Switch. I think that this is just something that they have to know people really want. I mean, this is something we thought was going to happen on the Wii U, and it never happened for I don't even know why. But I would be shocked if they didn't design the Switch to be able to emulate GameCube games. And I'll tell you why I think that they will do it. If you go to eBay right now and you type in any GameCube game title, right? Especially one that's got like a Nintendo character, it's going to be like $40. It's going to be like Melee is like $50, $60, maybe more. I just like a few months ago, I bought Mario Party games on the GameCube because I used to have them and I sold them, whatever. It was like $36 for the average Mario Party GameCube game still. That's insane.
Gosh, dude.
So honestly, they're missing out on so much money. That's why I think Nintendo will do it. If they know that they can make a ton of money off this, I think they will.
I've mentioned this before, but the biggest issue with that is for some games, they would need analog shoulder buttons with that click.
Right, but which games though?
Well, Sunshine.
Yeah, but that's the one that everybody mentions. But I can't think of any other than Sunshine that really used that. Maybe Luigi's Mansion, sort of.
There was a few that did, not many, but Sunshine is the one that people will want.
But I would say this, though. I would say that with a little bit of program tweaking, they could get Sunshine to run to where you press the shoulder button and it just shoots FLUDD all the way. Because if you remember playing Sunshine, there's really no moments where it's like, oh, I just want to use a little bit of water here. It's just you use the water. You know what I mean? There's just...
I didn't get very far in the game, but I do remember there was times where I didn't want it to go full blast.
Well, listen, Jesse, I play this game every year, every summer. You're talking to the Sunshine expert, and I would say it'd be pretty much fine.
I know. The part I think the part of that game that really lowered my desire to play it further were the non-FLUDD levels.
I think
which everyone else says is the best part of the game.
Well, they're very anger-inducing. They are challenging.
What I would say with that, though, Josh, is probably a safe sort of middle ground on that, is that I highly doubt that Sunshine is going to be one of, if there is additional programming that has to take place, it's not going to be one of the first ones out, right? Like it's going to be. I can
see them remastering that or something like that.
Yeah, like a full release of that game. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And hopefully they make it so Peach doesn't look stoned.
Yeah,
because that's the first thing I think of when I see that is she looks like she has a glaze in her face. And
you know what? I am not a fan of Jesse's anti-Sunshine agenda in this episode at all.
Nice.
Do you think, Josh? Do you think that's gonna be like a right away, like available now?
I think that's one of those things where it's like, and it's E3 time, and guess what? You can go to the Virtual Console, and it's got some GameCube games on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could think, remember Monkey Ball games on the GameCube? Those are awesome. If they just talk to Sega and are like, hey, let's get those as some of the launch games, like Monkey Ball 2. You can get it right now this June. That'd be amazing.
That'd be so good.
Sega's not doing anything important nowadays.
The tilt controls.
Or for the last several decades.
Hey, listen, Sonic Mania looks pretty good, and I kind of hate Sonic.
Yeah, it looks really good. I'm actually gonna just add mine before we get too far off the Virtual Console for my second one, only because it's basically the same thing. They're gonna launch with several. They're gonna launch Virtual Console with several weeks lineup. You know how they've basically announced anytime they launch the Virtual Console on a system, it'll be here's the next 3 or 4 weeks of the games that we're going to release. That's what they did with the Super Nintendo games on new 3DS. That's what they did with Wii U and all that sort of stuff. I'm going to say that GameCube games are going to be there. Specifically, I'm naming 2 games. Mother 3 is going to be there with the Game Boy Advance, representing Game Boy Advance, and Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem has got to be in there somewhere. Because I love me some horror games, and that game in particular, there's been so many like weird trademark renewals and things like that for Eternal Darkness. That those two games, there's been so much weird sort of news and buzz and rumors and rumblings and whatever, that those two games will be within that launch lineup. So I think Mother 3 might be a little bit too optimistic and crazy, but also if they did, people would lose their minds. So I don't know. So there you go.
What would happen if they made a new Metro or a new Mother game? That would really make them lose their minds.
Yeah, that would. And I would that. Have you played Mother 3? You're not really an RPG guy, though, are you?
I personally love everything about the Earthbound series, except for the battling. I can't take it. It's so boring to me.
Yeah, the Mother 3 does spice it up a little bit with some with more rhythm based
action commands.
Yeah, so you actually repeatedly hit the button on rhythm, and it'll give you successive attacks.
See, that's more interesting, at least.
It spices it up a little bit. The difference, I played Mother 3 first, and then went back and tried to play Mother 2, or Earthbound, and I couldn't do it. It was, yeah, they actually made quite a bit of improvement on Mother 3 that I really liked. So, so that's that one. So let's go back to Marty. Marty, what is your number 2 prediction?
All right, so here's where you guys get mad at me, because
you're gonna diss
I'm actually going to contradict every single one of you that just talked about Virtual Console.
Uh-oh.
My prediction is that Virtual Console will launch in the fall.
Oh.
After ARMS and after Splatoon, so as not to take away from those games. And that when it does launch, it will launch with GameCube games. Which, I totally agree with you there. But it will also launch as part of what it will be called the Nintendo Cloud, where the Virtual Console Plus games, I guess, if we want to call them that have already been mentioned, exist, as well as the games that they offer currently exist on the cloud, and you can play them anywhere at any time as part of your internet fee.
Is this like a Netflix style? Is that, or PlayStation Plus? Is that kind of what you're thinking?
Kind of like what Xbox is doing with the Xbox Game Pass. Yes. And that cloud will also
only console. It won't be actual new games.
Yeah, the cloud will also save your game saves.
Oh, that's smart. I think they've already kind of said that, actually. Haven't they? Haven't they said cloud saves are coming? I don't know.
I didn't hear
they've hinted
that.
at it.
But
they've hinted at it. I think isn't the rumor that the
or something
cloud save is possible when you send in your game or when you send in your system to be fixed?
Right. No, I think what they did when they first announced the Nintendo account, or it wasn't my Nintendo. It was they first announced the new Nintendo account.
They said cloud saves.
It said cloud saves on there. Yeah.
So I think all of that's going to be wrapped up together, and may even drop with the new OS. You know, in that major update, because we know every Nintendo system is going to get a major update to the operating system at some point. Yep. But I think it's all going to be tied in together. I think but because of that, I think it's going to be delayed. And I think they want Splatoon 2 and ARMS to do so well that they don't want anything like. I'll be honest with you. I want Virtual Console as soon as possible as well. But I think that those two IPs succeeding on the Switch is more important than, hey, I can play Super Mario World on my Switch now.
Interesting. I like it. Very
so
cool.
You think I'm wrong, Justin? Because you had an interesting look on your face when I was saying that.
I think there's a lot of. I like. Here's the thing, Marty. A lot of what you said, I like. I do like the idea of the cloud save. I do like this kind of like I could see the Nintendo pay your $3 and you have all access kind of stuff. I don't think they're going to wait past ARMS and Splatoon, because I think Splatoon's already got such a high installment base. That's not going to take away from it. That's such a massive hit for them. ARMS possibly, but I don't think so. So I think I like what you're saying. I just don't think the timing is right. I think they're going to do the drop. I think they're going to do it in June. But everything else I think is very cool. I like that idea.
What's been so interesting to me is how how like singularly focused Nintendo's marketing or Nintendo's sort of product push has been. That it's like they've got like a hyper focus of like, okay, right now it's Switch and Breath of the Wild. Okay, now Mario Kart. Okay, now ARMS. Okay, now Splatoon. Like there's little things, but it's like they're so focused one at a time, and I almost wonder why that is. I like if they're just trying to spread things out or if they're trying to what that's about. But like I think that there is an ability at least for people to be able to say, oh, I can play this and that. Both of these are coming out this time. So I don't know.
Can I break in right here and just because breaking news. I just saw this. I know we're not talking news. We've already said that, but Niantic just confirmed at an award show that Legendary Pokemon and PvP are coming to Pokemon Go this summer.
Yes, that's good.
If you're still out there and playing Pokemon Go,
good news.
Good news for you.
Right on, man. I actually have been playing it for sure. Creating social interactions amongst players. Wow. Okay. Very cool. That's awesome. Who are we on? Jesse, you are up, good sir. So Marty, just to confirm, you're saying Virtual Console in the fall.
Virtual Console in the fall launches with the Nintendo Cloud.
Nintendo Cloud, which is like saves,
the Virtual Console Plus games, the access to the game library, the whole shebang.
All right, cool. Right on. Jesse, what is your second prediction?
Okay, I am going to say that they will officially announce the Super Nintendo Classic along with the library of games it'll come with. But I am saying that they won't give an exact release date or pricing until closer to launch. They'll just say that it'll be coming this holiday.
I don't want that.
You don't want that, but so many people do.
I know, and you know what? I think it's just okay. Like it's not for me. I guess that's what I'll say.
That's fair.
I jumped in on the NES Classic, and it's just not for me. I don't want it unless the only way I'm interested is if they have an SNES Classic Collection Switch cartridge. Then I will bite. I
would like to see that.
I don't want another piece of freaking little plastic whatever. Like it's just not something that I want. It's not important. They could do that on the Switch instead. That's what they should do. But what
if they came out and they said, look, we realize that the NES Classic launch was frustrating for a lot of people, and that's why we are planning an SNES Classic, but it will be on the Virtual Console. And the way that these games are packaged and presented will only be available this way.
Mm-hmm.
I think they would want to do something in some form of a physical form, if not a separate piece of plastic, or like a standalone cart like Zach suggests. But I think they're going to want to do a big bundle like that as something physical, not just digital only.
Okay, here's what I actually my ideal is the SNES Classic Collection plus a SNES Classic Controller Pro. And so it's literally like the Super Nintendo controller, but it's wireless that connects to your Switch, so you can play it on the TV still. That way you're still getting the classic feel of that controller, but it's wireless, and you can and it's automatically connected to your Switch.
I do agree with you, Zach, and you saying I really don't want this. I don't want this type of thing, because I think back to what most of the people who got the NES Classic had to go through to get an extra controller, or to get controller extenders, or to actually get the system itself. And I mean, I would like to have the device itself, but quite honestly, I don't want to go back through the hassle.
I don't want to do that. Yeah, I would way rather just have this. And the thing is that even if they did the classic control, the Super Nintendo controller, it still would be a pain in the butt to get. Right.
The thing is if they're going to do this, there has to be a pre-order with it.
No, well, don't even. Yeah. Good luck with even that. They can't even get. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Have there been rumors or anything suggesting that they are going to do a Super Nintendo Classic or no?
There was a rumor the week after they officially announced the NES Classic's cancellation that the cancellation was due to them ramping up a Super Nintendo Classic production early enough to actually have units available when they launch.
Huh.
That's all rumor at that point.
I always looked at the NES Classic as being Nintendo saying, "Oh, it's the holiday season, and we have absolutely nothing to sell, and our Switch is nowhere even close to being launched. I don't know, get a piece of plastic and stuff some NES ROMs in it, and we'll just sell it for nostalgia." So I feel like they're not in that position anymore. They have the Switch; it's very successful. So I almost wonder if, like, maybe in the future they might try that. But given their success with the Switch and games, I almost feel like they don't even really need that kind of thing now.
I actually 100% agree with Josh.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's kind of what it always felt more like a marketing.
And that hurts my heart.
You know.
And
All right.
either way, whether they do it as a Super Nintendo Classic or a Super Nintendo-like controller that pairs with the Switch, give it a
That'd be
damn
cool.
home button. I don't care if it didn't exist in the first place. It needs it. Because that was a pain in the butt to have to lean over, you know.
And well, and you guys know if this thing comes out, it's not going to be hackable. And I think that's probably I mean, I think it'll probably be harder than the NES Classic
it'll
is.
Be 2
which
weeks
basically you can hack the NES Classic by pointing at it and saying, "I'd like these games on you, please."
Yeah.
Well, that just goes to add to the idea that they put it together really quick to sell it over the holiday season. They didn't even care about somebody hacking into it.
Yeah. Right on. Justin, what is your next prediction, sir?
I'm gonna start ramping this controversy up. Let's start throwing some fists. Let's tell you that you're wrong. There has been a lot of rumor, hubbuzz, and hype around the idea that Smash will be coming to E3 and announced this E3 will be a deluxe Super Edition port. We've seen some potential leaks from 4chan or something, of course, then confirmed as potentially being fake. I am going to say no Smash at E3. I don't want to see Smash at E3. Nintendo needs to distance themselves from that for a little bit because we don't want the Switch to kind of be I think they run the risk of porting too many Wii U games over the Switch in the first year. They need to, if they're going to do anything, they need to drift that out. I also think it then becomes a conflict with ARMS. So I say no Smash. Good day, sir. I said good day.
So you're saying that this? So are you also suggesting that this is that these Smash Brothers things are fake news? Is that
hashtag fake news?
Okay, so the
hashtag Kofefe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Yeah. So I tend to, while I think that Smash Brothers is something that absolutely to be on this system, I think that it would be a distraction from what is out right now. Like as soon as you release Smash Brothers, ARMS is no longer ARMS. Yeah. The ARMS' audience is off. Yeah.
And let me make some clarity. I do believe Smash will come to the system. I do believe it will be a giant port of kind of everything with some additional layers added to it, much like they did the Mario Kart 8 treatment. But I believe it is too early in the Switch's life to see that happen. So it will happen. Now, here's the other thing. I don't care for it. I don't want to see Smash for a while. Just because I'm a Nintendo fan doesn't mean I have to like everything Nintendo based, and I have decided.
Yes, it does.
I do not like Switch. You don't
like the Switch.
Smash. Much like I think that Pikmin is a fire truck of garbage.
Oh,
Well, see, I think you're only
you know
half
what?
right
He
there.
is cranky this morning. He is
Oh.
cranky this morning.
My mouse is hovering over this little red hang-up button.
No.
No, I'm going to agree with Justin here, though. I mean,
Yeah, Pikmin is garbage, right?
no, not that. I'm gonna, even though I'm garbage at Pikmin, I'm gonna agree with you on the Smash thing because I mean, I think if they even tease this at E3, ARMS is gone for a large subsection of Switch owners that would say, I would rather wait and get this type of fighting game.
Yeah.
You know, I'd
Yeah,
rather wait and get this type of experience. I mean, why introduce a brand new IP that is basically a fighting game and then go, oh, by the way,
You know that fighting game you really like? It's also coming.
Yeah.
So don't bother.
Yeah, I do think that that we're seeing a lot we're seeing a lot of potential in its life cycle. Even a lot of our predictions, Pikmin. We're gonna obviously talk about probably Metroid here in a little bit, but like Nintendo needs to space out what they've got too, right? So I think that like every year you're gonna kind of see, hey, remember how great this game was in the last system? We're gonna kind of re-up it. And I think this year was Mario Kart 8 because they needed something to fill the gap. I think next year might be maybe a Mario Maker or something. But I do think they're not going to go that well several times, and I think they have to space it out cautiously.
Yeah. Well said. Although the idea of being able to play 4-player split screen Smash Run, like on the big screen,
That's in one of those screenshots.
that would be amazing. As soon as I saw that, I don't know if it's fake or not, but I want that because that was actually one of the funnest additions to Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
The 3DS version.
Yeah.
And that it wasn't on Wii U sucked, and I want to play that. That would
And
be
one
so
of the problems in the 3DS version though is you don't get to interact with each other. Like,
Yeah.
You can't even see the other players. In that screenshot, you can see that the players can see each other.
So if it's real,
So if it's real, that's perfect.
Yeah, totally. Right on. I gave my prediction before about Virtual Console with Mother 3 and Eternal Darkness, so it's back to you, Josh.
Okay. Oh, by the way, real quick, I actually agree with Justin on one thing. I don't know if Smash would be shown the C3. Like, it seems like it probably would eat ARM's lunch in a way. So I don't know. But Nintendo has done very stupid things in the past, so it is possible
Right.
they would be dumb enough to do that. Okay.
And in all fairness, Josh, just so you and I can stay besties forever, I actually don't hate Pikmin.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
I really don't.
I'm traveling to Ireland, and we're gonna play Pikmin 3's bingo battle.
Let's do it.
You know what?
Gonna-
Justin,
Head over to patreon.com, subscribe to Josh and Justin's bingo channel.
Okay, my pick. I'm going to say this is a weird one, but I think that this actually has a chance of being a weird game that actually is announced. So there's a team that Nintendo works with called Monster Games. They made Excite Truck, they made Excite Bots Trick Racing, and they worked on the DKC Returns port on the 3DS, and they haven't worked on a ton of stuff recently. So I'm going to say that studio is going to be working on a game, and I think it is going to be some sort of a racing game that is kind of like a sequel to the Excite Truck, Excite Bot type thing. They will have some sort of Switch racing game that is very strange and random, but it's something a lot of people will be talking about at E3.
very cool.
Because that developer is like a legit, like, they work with Nintendo a lot, but they have not done anything recently. Have any of you guys played Excite Truck or Excite Bots, more importantly?
I haven't played either of those, but I've
Nor
heard
have
good
I.
things.
No.
Wow. Okay, so you guys need to check out Excite Bots. It is so weird and so wonderful. It's you race as these weird mechanical animals and bugs and stuff, and you're doing these insane jumps and you're crashing into each other. And there are like WarioWare micro games during the races. Like you'll get an item like in Mario Kart, but it's not to use against someone. You have to you'll get a pie, and then coming up on the road, you have to throw the pie at like this big giant mechanical clown's face, or you have to bowl into pins, like bowling pins and stuff. It's so weird. You guys need to check it out. I think that studio needs to work on some more games. I think it's pretty good timing for them to have something. They did have a game. They are kind of like a launch window studio too, because they did Excite Truck, which was a launch game. So I think we're gonna see something from them, guys.
I'm excited. Bring it
Very
on.
cool.
Right on. Marty, what is your number 3 prediction?
I believe that Nintendo will tease a new Metroid game that will launch in late 2018 as their November game.
Okay.
Nice.
It will not be connected to the Prime series. It will be a continuation of the story that we last saw in Metroid Fusion.
Other M2.
Oh. Are we talking?
We're talking Metroid 4, which we think has been supposed to be coming for a long time.
Now, is this 3D or 2D?
I would love to say it would be 2D. But I think that 3D is probably the way they're going to go. To appease fans of the Prime of the Prime games.
See, I actually prefer Metroid in 3D. I prefer everything in 3D form, to be honest with you. But I think that they might do a 2D Metroid. And
I would love it. I prefer.
Well, Marty, who do you
2D
think would be
Metroid.
developing this Metroid game?
New Metroid.
I do believe that would be Retro Games.
See, it's funny because I was thinking about this. If there's one developer that I think could actually pull off a 2D Metroid game that I would enjoy, it would be Retro. And given the fact that they've worked on the Prime games and they worked on 2 Donkey Kong side-scrolling games, I feel like they have exactly what it would take to make a really, really great 2D Metroid game.
2 excellent side-scrolling Donkey Kong games.
Yeah.
Just not good enough for a top 10 list with the Nintendo Dads.
I know this will never happen, but I would love to see like a Metroid done with a way forward art style.
Or a Mario. I mean, Mario with that art style would be amazing as well.
So I'm gonna counter a little bit on yours because Marty, I think we all probably had Metroid at some point on our list. I think it's going to be teased. I think it's going to be like a sizzle reel, like a very short, it'll be Reggie's One More Thing or Nintendo's One More Thing, right? And it's like a black screen. You hear the Metroid crying in the background, then all of a sudden you see the visor turn on very briefly, and then it says Metroid, and it says 2018. I think this is actually going to be in their spring 2018. I don't think Nintendo is going to push it back for an entire 18 months. That's unlike them to do something that far in advance. They want to be telling you what you're going to be playing with the next 12 months, not necessarily the full 18 months.
That announces games 2 years before they've announced, oh yeah, this will probably be 3 years out still.
And I actually I don't think Retro is doing it. I think it's a Nintendo in-house, and it's one of the young development teams.
So with you saying that it's gonna the title Metroid's gonna flash up, do you think we're just gonna go back to Metroid, like not a reboot, but maybe just and not even a reimagining, but I guess you could call it a rebranding, so that it doesn't have other M or Prime or anything. It's just Metroid.
Just Metroid. Yeah, that's it. And I do actually think it's
I like that a lot.
I do think it's a 2D. I think it's in the vein of like Super Metroid. They've given it to the new dev team to kind of reinvigorate the brand. And I do think it's I think that's where it would stand.
You guys want some controversy? Justin, you wanted controversy before. I'll give you some controversy. Yep. Super Metroid is the most overrated video game that I have ever heard of. It is the most overrated video game in the history of electronic entertainment.
And on Nintendo Dads episode 131, it's the first time we've ever kicked a guest
Josh,
off the
I like that so much.
I'm telling you, I
got a headache when you
let
said
me say this. Maybe this will redeem me a bit. I played it after I had played Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime was my first Metroid game. That's what got me into it. And when I played Super Metroid after beating Prime, I was like, okay, this is a 2D pixelated version of Metroid Prime. This is not the thing you can play after Metroid Prime.
Well, I mean, if you ruin your taste buds with that first, then obviously you're not going to like the good stuff.
Metroid Prime is so much better, guys. It's
so
much better.
I played Metroid Fusion first, and so again, it's a similar sort of thing where
you played the best game
played that
out of the set, so it's really hard to play back any of the past ones.
That's the thing, right? Is that if you play they were slowly tweaking the formula, and then that was the first one that I played was the end. And it's hard to go back. It's similar when I played Mother 3 before I played Earthbound, and it was just like, I can't go back to Earthbound because Mother 3 had all these great tweaks and polish that had kind of been worked towards over the course of the history of the series. But yeah, that is controversial. I think I'll give you that.
I said that in a discussion one time at the Bit Block with Roger, and he just walked away. Just walked away for about
shut it down. Nice. Right on. So, Jesse, what is your next prediction?
Okay, I currently don't have any other predictions, so I'll pass. And if I think of something, I'll let you know.
All right. Justin, what is your next prediction?
My next prediction is actually that we are going to see a lot more third-party support at E3. Nintendo did a really great job originally talking about all of the third parties that were on board to support the Switch. We've seen a couple of them come out of the woodwork, but we have not seen all of them. So I think we're going to see an increased exposure with when Ubisoft or however you want to pronounce it is showing their games. We're going to see more of the Nintendo Switch logos at the end of it. Same with Bethesda. I do think you're going to hear announcements from people like Telltale Games. So I think we're going to see a lot more. Some of them will own their own announcements in that way, so we won't necessarily get all of it in the Nintendo presentation. So, example like Ubisoft, you'll find out that there is where maybe their next Rain Man or Just Dance or whatever is going to be coming to the Wii U as opposed to being in the Nintendo press conference. So it'll be kind of like information trickled out through the entire week about third parties that are actually putting out games. I think Telltale is a great example. Actually, I think you will hear about both the Guardians of the Galaxy game as well as the Batman game coming to the Switch. So I just think more third party stuff. So
very cool. Right on, man. Awesome. My next prediction is what do we have here? Okay. So when the Switch launched, everybody said that they needed to have this system's version of the of Nintendo Land or Wii Sports, those sorts of things, and 1-2 Switch was put forth as that game for the Switch, and that game was so phoned in and subpar.
Garbage, I think, is the word.
Garbage, right? Literally, it was tech demos. And people in front of a green screen playing dress up. And I think that we are going to see Nintendo really present this system's blue ocean type game, the sort of mass appeal thing like Wii Sports, like Nintendo Land, something like that is really going to draw the average person into it, or at least attempt to. I don't know exactly what that's going to be, but it's going to be some sort of family-friendly, approachable type game that is going to try and recapture the Wii Sports. It's obviously not going to have the word Wii in it, obviously, but it's some sort of a waggle fest motion control type game. And I know that there are going to be people who are suggesting that ARMS is kind of like that motion control game, but I don't think that is approachable enough for the non-gamer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like. It could be like it could have a sort of Wii Fit style thing look to it. I don't know.
Listen, I'd kill for Switch Sports Resort on that amazing tropical woohoo island with new sports and like returning old ones.
Yeah. Remember when that island was supposed to be like, you're going to be seeing this island a lot more. It was supposed to be like its own separate character.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And they just stopped doing that.
It was in games that were all basically related to Wii Sports. It was like in Pilot Wings and Smash Brothers, and that's about it. It's an amazing concept. I love the concept of saying, hey, what if a location could be a character? And I love that. I want to see that. There is a bit of a problem.
The only problem with that is that it wasn't an interesting location or character. It was just like a very generic island town. But
somebody clearly hasn't played the Island Flyover game, because you get all sorts of wonderful facts about every little location in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Zach, you know what, Zach?
Now, anyway,
Jesse, do you want to chime in about how much you hate Super Mario Sunshine now too?
No, I'm
No.
good.
I think it just would have been better if they would have, like, if I could have gotten to know, like, for example, if they were to have continued this, this idea that Woohoo Island is really so interesting, why was Tomodachi Life not taking place on Woohoo Island, for example?
Because they're not the smartest.
See, that would have been amazing, right? Like, that would have been. Anyways, what were you going to say about the?
Well,
problem?
I was going to say, actually, there's a little bit of a problem assuming they would make a Wii Sports anytime soon, because in a recent interview with the director or producer of ARMS, they were talking about, like, why wasn't this part of like a Wii Sports or something? And they said the reason is because they didn't really think there was any reason to make a new Wii Sports game anytime soon. So it sounded like he was more or less saying there's no Wii Sports in development because we don't think it was necessary.
Oh, weird. Okay. Well, I still hold by this prediction in that in the spirit of Wii Sports or Nintendo Land or that kind of mini game collection, I think that still is something that could find success. And 1-2 Switch was not that game, and it felt like it was there more as a proof of concept than anything, and that we're gonna maybe get, and who knows, maybe it could even be, it could be something else. I don't know entirely, but I think that's a hole that is not being filled currently.
I absolutely agree. I'm the type of person who loves those sort of games, so I want a new revolution in what Wii Sports could be. I want to see Switch Sports Resort so bad.
Yeah, and
I'm wondering what all those poor little dogs are doing. Waiting on the frisbee. And...
Marty, I have recently been playing that frisbee dog, and me and friends get so hardcore into it. Like, we're shouting at each other for high scores. We're more violent with Disc Dog and Wii Sports Resort than we are with Smash Brothers around here.
I'd love to come back to that and just see, like, as if the zombie apocalypse has taken over that island. Like, over 5 years, like, the dogs are just like ravenous now. There's like burn marks everywhere.
Oh gosh, like a zombie game, like a post-apocalyptic Woohoo Island. Oh
yes,
that'd be amazing. I would love that.
How about Animal Crossing? If we don't come back after 5 years, everyone's a zombie.
Nice. All right, Josh, your number 4 prediction, good sir.
Listen, Jesse is the king of segues because
segue.
I am going to predict that Animal Crossing is going to be shown at this year's E3. Now,
next one.
I know this might sound like hopeful thinking on my part because I'm obviously obsessed with Animal Crossing, but it has been since 2012 since they've made a legit Animal Crossing game, and that is a very long time. And usually Animal Crossing games are about 3-4 years apart from each other, so we are long overdue for a new Animal Crossing. I think they kind of lost some of the hype they had going off of New Leaf, so I thought there was going to be a Wii U game. There wasn't. I made a whole video talking about how great it would have been on Wii U. But I think we're due for Animal Crossing, and I think that's probably going to be one of the big heavy hitters they have at E3 along with Super Mario Odyssey. I think it's going to be Mario Odyssey, and then it's going to be like, boom, also, we got Animal Crossing.
Now, here's my question about Animal Crossing. Because that was my next prediction too. My question is, because to me it seems like there is, like, basically Amiibo Festival was like, could potentially even be, they had the game already in the works and said, we're not going to squander this game on the Wii U. We're gonna delay it. We're gonna pimp it out even more, and we're gonna put it on the Switch. And so do you think, like when do you see this coming then, if that is the case?
That's the problem, though, because they did more or less say, like, look, at E3 we're going to be telling you about titles from 2017. I don't think it would come out 2017. Potentially Japan. I think Japan would get it first because there's a lot of localization involved. So it could come out holiday for Japan, and then spring in the rest of the world. Or maybe they will just talk about a few titles. They'll be like, this isn't coming out this year, but we do want to show it off, or something like that.
Just have some sort of a very limited gameplay trailer, not showing it on the floor, not showing it in the treehouse.
Mm-hmm. So the thing is, with Animal Crossing New Leaf, I think that actually was not playable at E3. I don't think that was a playable game at E3 ever. So it seems like Animal Crossing is one of those games that probably doesn't demo very well because, you're supposed to, like, hang back for a little bit and, like, get involved with your own town and your own house. You don't care about that in a demo.
Yeah. So here's my next question: is what do you see being the change for the Switch? And I'm thinking split screen multiplayer for Animal Crossing with like break off the Joy-Cons sort of style of multiplayer on Switch.
That would be interesting. Yeah, I mean, they could do that. I think the Switch has, better online capabilities than ever before. And so I think Animal Crossing it was created as a way to like keep in touch with your friends and family through a video game. So we're definitely living in a time. I mean, Animal Crossing has aged beautifully because that was the original concept on the GameCube. Now we have online play and all this. I think another thing they'll really sell Animal Crossing with is like, hey, it's an Animal Crossing game that's a portable experience and a home experience, which is something like Animal Crossing's fan base basically is cut in two. There's the people that want to play Animal Crossing on their TV, and then there's the people that want it on a handheld on the go. I'm on the crowd that likes the TV the most because I really want to be able to like get the atmosphere of my village and everything. But I think that's a good reason to make an Animal Crossing Switch game in and of itself. Just like, hey, you don't have to decide anymore. It's both.
Oh, I want this game so bad. Here's my other concern about this game is with the presence of Amiibo nowadays. Does that threaten to destroy the balance of the Force in that game as far as the gameplay loop and the like scan in this Amiibo and now we can move into your town? Like, I don't want that in my game.
I did a video. Yeah, I did do a video where I said that the Amiibo cards kind of ruined the experience because it was just like you could cheat. You just paid to cheat. Like the whole thing about Animal Crossing is you get that ugly animal that moves in right next door to you. And every day you play that game and you're like, oh my gosh, they haven't moved yet. And then that one glorious day when you play Animal Crossing and you open up that little door of yours and you see that house is gone and that animal moved. It's such an accomplishment. It feels so good. It's life. It's like life. You need to have the bad times and the depravity so you can truly appreciate the good times. So I think Amiibo do kind of ruin the experience.
Can I tell you what I would love to see happen with Animal Crossing? I would love to see them take it in a different direction where on-screen play and off-screen and docked and handheld play matter by changing the game in a different way. What if you could have an Animal Crossing where when it's docked, you're in your town, but when it's undocked, you go to your vacation home because you're away from home and you're now on vacation.
I think that's I like that idea, but I can actually see them doing that more with a companion app where you go on vacation. And I think we've talked about the idea of like having your mobile home being the app and then having the game be that.
Yeah, that's true.
I
think that's a direction they've taken. They haven't taken the series yet, and it'd be a way to kind of freshen it up a little bit. Because whatever does appear on the Switch, obviously New Leaf has come a long way since it was first released, but there needs to be something more that comes along with it.
I'll be honest, though, I do not like the idea of them limiting gameplay to certain modes without good reason. Like, if there was a reason that you had to use the touchscreen for this vacation mode or whatever it is, then that's fine. That's one thing. But I also want to still be able to use the traditional controls and do everything. Like, I don't want to think, oh, crap, I can't play my town because I'm in handheld mode and I'm on the go, right? Like, I still want to be able to do that, too.
Mm-hmm. I guess my thing is like, you started out in Animal Crossing. Was it GameCube first?
Unless you're talking about Japan, which got it on the N64, but it was.
So if we say the GameCube is first, you're just a guy moving into a town, right? Or a girl.
Or a girl.
Yeah. Right. So from there, you've kind of worked your way up to being mayor of the town in New Leaf. Well, what's next? They introduced the concept
run for presidential campaign.
Yes.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
Make Animal Crossing great again.
Or you could, what you could do is...
Josh, I just see the new t-shirt you need to design.
but I think what you could do as well is you could do a more of like a Tom Nook sort of, like you have like a franchise into multiple different cities or something like that. Or
now you are Tom Nook. And you manage the store
Yeah, you manage your own store. That would actually be interesting. Yeah, that would be.
Well, there are. I feel like Animal Crossing has a lot of ideas that were hindered by the hardware they were on. So, for example, they used to have an auction house in Animal Crossing City Folk, and it didn't work because, of course, the Wii is not exactly the kind of system that's capable of like being online or online all the time. So you'd put something up for auction, you'd be like, hey, did you guys see what I have for auction? They'd be like, what? No, I don't know. It didn't show up in my auction house. So it was like such a failure, but a great idea. But now they could legit do that in Animal Crossing.
It was like on shop in New Leaf too, right? Where it was like, okay, well maybe your townsfolk are gonna buy your stuff, but not likely. Like
So
it's
I
just
think-
sit there. Yeah.
Yeah, some sort of shop that's like, hey, it's an auction house, and this is always connected to your friends and everything, and you can see what your friends have and all that. That would be really cool. I also feel like, and I know a lot of people who are really into New Leaf feel the same way, the mayor idea is really cool, but it was really not fleshed out. There is so much more you could do with that idea. Really, the mayor, being the mayor of your town just meant that you could build stuff outside. That's about it. But what if you're, as a mayor, you could actually change the landscape of your town? Or you can decide who moves in or where they move in. There's a lot more abilities as the mayor.
You know, what if you could put animals in jail?
Well, they do have a jail. They do have, they have the Lost and Found, which is weird that it's the jail. Why are there cops guarding the Lost and Found? I never really thought about that. Also, there's animals that can talk in that game, guys. That's weird, too. But we need Animal Crossing,
Yeah, Animal Crossing absolutely needs to. Very cool. So,
Sorry, and Josh, how do you think that's going to link in? Do you think that links in the mobile strategy at all?
I think that I do know what the original mobile app was going to be. I don't know if that's widespread knowledge or not.
I've heard it, but I think it was not widespread knowledge.
Okay, I might have actually said this already on here, but it was supposed to be like one of those like town builder things. Like if you ever played the Disney theme park app thing where you build the Disney park, you like build the attractions and people come to the attractions and you get little fake gems and money for it and stuff. That's what the Animal Crossing app was going to be, and they canned it because they said it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
So I do think.
And yet they considered Miitomo fun?
This is true.
He's got a point.
Maybe they learned their lesson from Miitomo. They maybe like, wait, we were supposed to make stuff fun.
Wait,
It's completely
hang on.
different with Mii's, though. Because
We forgot to put that bullet on the list.
They're Mii.
But I do think the Animal Crossing app will interact with the game, and that is actually one of the reasons I think it will be shown at E3, because I think they will say, and this is going to be released around the time that the app is released, and they will, you use them for whatever.
I still love the idea of a mobile home, like an RV that is the. That would be great. That'd be super. Right on, man. Well, that was my number 4 prediction too. So, I want that game probably more than just about anything else. And if Minecraft is any indicator, my life will be over when that game is out.
Mine too, because I'll have a lot of people demanding I make video journals for that about every hour. So my life will be over as well.
Yeah, that would just be amazing. Marty, what is your number 4 prediction?
I'm waffling between two here, but I mean, eventually we'll get to both of them. I really believe that, or I predict at E3 we are going to hear some form of announcement about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC.
Oh, nice.
It possibly to coincide with the announcement of Metroid. Samus will be a playable character, and they'll dig up, I mean, we've had Animal Crossing, we've had Zelda. Why not throw in Metroid and maybe another Nintendo franchise?
I will tell you exactly which one it is. It's Kirby. The fact that Kirby has not been in there yet, I think is something that is surprising considering the other ones they put in there. I think that's the next biggest franchise.
Kirby flying around on a little star.
Except for he's not a driver. He's a transform. So you will drive Kirby.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, I love it.
Well, listen, Kirby's no stranger to racing games. He's got Kirby Air Ride, which is a fantastic game on the GameCube.
And then could they take like I've never played Air Ride, but could they like put in some levels or something that is recognizable from
the city trial mode is pretty recognizable. I mean, you have like floating warp stars that you drive on, so there's definitely vehicles in that game that they could use to like make Kirby's vehicle.
Mhm.
parts.
Yeah, so you've got the Kirby level. Imagine the Metroid level. Like you're racing
Amazing.
underground into the chamber where Mother Brain is. And you have to, go around the turn. And there it is, and it's like
As
firing
things-
at you. And
Or as the world begins to collapse around you.
oh, that would be awesome. But yeah, so definitely new tracks. But I also think that along with that is going to come some new battle mode maps as well, because battle mode is great. It's awesome to have that back. I really enjoy it. But 8 is just not enough when you look at the amount of tracks that there are in the game to race on. So they're going to maybe beef those up at least by another 2, possibly 4.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I
actually
do-
part of. Go ahead, Josh.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's actually part of my prediction as well, is that we'd see a DLC for Mario Kart 8. So
Okay, I'm going to challenge this in a way, though. So, I don't know that they will do DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And my reason is this would be the first time they didn't get a chance to make 2 Mario Kart games. Because, we don't really have a handheld and a home console anymore. It's all one. And Mario Kart is their, biggest franchise. That is, their big breadwinner, actually. So I think that they did this very deliberately, thinking, okay, this will be our port for the launch of the system, and then in 2 years we will make the official Mario Kart Switch game. And I think for that they're going to go all in on making it like a Nintendo All-Stars edition thing. I feel like they're really kind of just dipping their toe in the water with what they've done with this Inklings and Link and that and Animal Crossing.
see, I'm going to disagree with you on that, Josh. I think
How dare you, sir?
I think what they're doing is I think they're doing a larger strategy where
But
a game such as this and a game such as, and it's kind of built off another one of my predictions, Breath of the Wild, they're going to begin implementing a long-term DLC strategy that requires them not to produce new games, but to rather build content onto those games, so you can actually spread your development team to other projects and new IPs such as ARMS or Splatoon. Spend time and energy on those pockets as opposed to Mario Kart Switch. I think they're just gonna say, here's some DLC packages. They're gonna do just an extension of it that way.
But I feel like the name Mario Kart 8 Deluxe just has the least sexy appeal to it imaginable, to where I cannot imagine Mario Kart 8 Deluxe being something that's a really in-demand title in 2 years.
Hmm.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because it in the title itself, it clearly is carrying over what it used to be on the Wii U, on a past game. But I mean, I would be okay. I would be totally okay with DLC for this. But I just feel like Nintendo is
the one though. I guess that's my question. Is you personally, do you want to go out and buy another copy of Mario Kart on the Switch?
if it is totally new. If it feels like, okay, this is a totally new Mario Kart, this feels like it has its own identity. And that's the other thing, they can't add new ideas through DLC. They can't change up a core gameplay concept in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It is what it is. It's always going to be that. And I guess unless they just don't have any new ideas, then it's okay, totally go with DLC. But if they come up with some great new idea that would be like Mario Kart Double Dash had 2 people in a cart and all this stuff, then it's time to make a new Mario Kart. So I guess it really just matters how long is it going to take them to come up with an idea that's so new that it really warrants making a totally new game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think they're moving on, right? I think it was low hanging fruit and easy for them. And I think a DLC package is even easier.
I'd be down for it either way, but I just know that Mario Kart is definitely their most popular franchise, so I can see them really wanting to make another whole version of it. Because what makes them more money? A $60 game as opposed to
They don't want
$20.
more money.
Yep. Better than a $50 game, a $60 game. Is that a Timberlake reference? Is that what you just made there? All right. Nobody got my joke. Okay. That was a Social Network joke. It's better.
Social networks? What are those?
$1 billion. Never mind. Nobody saw that movie. Moving on.
I never did.
Okay, Facebook. Zuckerberg.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I know of it. I just never seen it.
Okay. Moving on. Jesse, do you have any more? I'm just gonna ask you every time. Or are you passing again?
I'm drawing a blank.
It's okay.
I'm brain dead.
No, that's fine. Justin, what is your next prediction?
So a little bit of kind of, we did talk about a second ago, but I'll build on that. I do believe that we are going to see a long-term plan for Zelda that involves a rollout of DLC over multiple years. I don't think it's just this first package we purchased. There will be a long-term DLC strategy. And we'll get a first glance at it here, which will then correspond with an actual timed release date of when we're getting the first package for Drop 1.
Do we really? Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Do we really want this to be drawn out, or do we want them to move on to better things or bigger and better things?
Drawn out.
Drawn out.
To the point where it's just like
you have a 1-to-1 install rate for a game.
Yeah, that's true.
More than that, didn't they sell? I think Roger told me they sold more copies of Breath of the Wild Switch than they did Switch systems.
That's correct.
Yeah, they did.
Which is insane.
Yeah, part of that is because some people bought 2 copies, one to keep like mint in box, or they bought like the $90 or the $120 version to keep it around, and then they bought it digitally. Things like that. And another part of it is people bought the game even though they don't yet have a Switch.
Which is amazing, though. I mean, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, that's a pretty good reason for them to actually do it. You're right.
And I think the fact that they released their DLC strategy or announced it even before the game came out is a different Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're taking a different approach.
Fire Emblem and stuff like that for a long time too.
Yeah, but I just think that they've got an opportunity here. Instead of them being like, so when's the next Zelda coming out? You're like, well, here's our next package. There you go.
I feel like that game is a game that I absolutely would love to return to on a couple times a year and get some new stuff and have fun. That is not a game I'm going to get bored of anytime soon. That's such a wonderful world. It looks gorgeous. It plays great.
It borrows a little bit from like the idea of when you think of stuff like World of Warcraft, right? Like, hey, if we just give you another DLC package, you're in. You're back to it. And I think that's and they'll continue to get a hype and buzz about it. Like, could you imagine if all of a sudden it's like, here's the Majora mission pack?
Here's the thing with this, though, that I think if they are going to do this, going back to your World of Warcraft analogy, I think that if they are going to show new, or if they're going to continue DLC, what World of Warcraft does when they do their expansions is, surprise everyone, there's this new island or this new land off over in this part of the world that we didn't know was there before. Go and explore this wonderful new area, this new world, and look how amazing this new expansive world is. And at least for the first DLC pack, it is literally, hey guys, we took the same world that is huge and expansive and is great, but there are people who have explored it now. There's new things to go back to on the same world that you've already been on. I think that if they are going to do long-term DLC with this, beyond just what they've already announced, they need to actually have new places to go, new areas, and it can't just be, yeah, we added more stuff on the map that's already here.
No, and Zach, I fully do believe it will be new areas. Like looking at the map, I think if you zoom out a bit more, there's a whole new world out there they're going to just kind of get you to explore.
A whole new world. Okay, yeah.
I was actually giving that one more for Josh to give that a go, but sure, that's cool.
No, I
Here's the thing, though. I mean, I love Breath of the Wild as much as the next person. I think it's an amazing game, but if we get into a prolonged DLC dev cycle with that, we'll never get another Zelda game.
Now, this is really interesting, though. This is the opposite of how you felt about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, though.
It is, and that may be a little hypocritical. I don't know. I haven't thought about that.
I wouldn't say that.
I don't know. I just can't see it being added. I'm much more tolerant of a game like Mario Kart 8, which is played in short bursts of battle mode or tracks, or it's 4 tracks and I'm done, or I'm gonna race another cup, it's another 4 tracks, I'm done. Then, hey, let's just add just a little bit more to this game. Or let's just add just a little bit more to this game without adding like major story points or anything. If they really want to do something like that drastic and still stay in that game and have this long dev cycle of DLC over a year, let us play as Zelda.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the analogy that I would give to kind of go along with that. When you go to the all-you-can-eat ribs buffet, and the first plate is this amazing plate of ribs and the side and whatever, and they give you like a good like half rack of ribs. It's like 6 bones, 6 ribs, and it's like, oh, that's amazing. That was so good. It's all you can eat. Bring me some more. And they only ever bring it like in small, like 3 ribs at a time. And it's like, no, I wanted more than this. And it's like, oh no, we only ever bring it out 3 ribs at a time. Like, eat that and then we'll bring some more. It's like, no, give me another half rack of ribs. That's what I want. I don't want to have to just sit here and like piecemeal this crap out. I want to sit and enjoy this meal in a single sitting. And that's it. Like, is that maybe it's a weird analogy? Is that
No, I totally get it.
I have something to ask though about that, Zach.
Yes.
Don't you dare take a drink of water yet. You need to be ready for this.
Okay.
No spit takes.
How do you feel about the way Nintendo dishes out content with like Splatoon and ARMS now, to where they give you like 1 new fighter or 1 new stage every couple weeks? Because I hate that, and I feel like you're a hypocrite if you like it.
I don't like it as much, but I think that it's different with Zelda specifically, because Zelda is entirely about, especially Breath of the Wild, is all about getting absorbed into and like getting lost in that world.
Well, in your defense and Marty's defense, it's a multiplayer title compared to a single player title, and getting more multiplayer stuff is more acceptable, I guess, than
more like and you're playing that game in 5 or 10 minute increments instead of sitting down for 2 hours and getting lost in the game, right? And so like the thing is that if you can sit down and consume the entirety of this new Zelda DLC in a matter of 5 hours or something like that, then okay, well now it's gone and we got to wait another 6 months. And so like 5 or 10 hours of content every 6 months is not as good as having a good like 50-hour campaign for a new Zelda game every 2 or 3 years, right? Like you're getting, in the long term, you're getting more, even though you're not getting that DLC sort of piecemeal. I just want a whole plate of ribs. That's all I want, and I don't want freaking 3 ribs at a time. That's garbage.
I feel like this is Alice in Wonderland, because we have majorly gone down a rabbit hole here. I don't even remember what the original prediction was on this.
I don't know, but now I'm just hungry for ribs.
Yeah.
Not 3 of them. Just I want a whole plate of ribs.
Yeah.
My prediction was that they're just gonna have a big DLC strategy
For Zelda.
Yeah.
They're going to give everyone their ribs. That was your prediction.
Gives them their own set of ribs.
Honey barbecue ribs. That's, yeah, absolutely. Right on. My prediction was Animal Crossing for Switch. So, Josh, it's back to you.
Okay. So this is another, just like Pikmin, this is another one of these games that has kind of been announced in one way or another. We do know that Kirby is celebrating his 25th anniversary this year, correct? Was that what it was?
Yes.
25, I think. Yeah, let's say 25. So they did say that there is going to be some sort of multiplayer action game or something announced at a later date for Kirby's 25th anniversary. I am going to be really surprised if that's not a Switch game, because that would mean that they're celebrating Kirby's birthday with no Switch stuff to play. So I'm going to say there's some sort of either downloadable or like actual retail game that is a multiplayer Kirby title on the Switch.
You stole my prediction.
But isn't Kirby like the kiss of death in any video game console?
Yeah, what are we, E3 2024?
Well, listen, Kirby Air Ride came out in 2003 for the GameCube. That was relatively close to launch.
I would love that. I think that would be really cool. See, you notice how my voice is disappearing more and more as the night goes on. Yeah, I think that would be really cool. And
if you think about it, that since Kirby's Epic Yarn, there's not, or well, which came first? Did Epic Yarn come first or Return to Dreamland?
Epic Yarn.
Okay, Epic Yarn came and then Return to Dreamland. The Wii U skipped a proper Kirby game.
Yeah, we got the canvas card.
And so I would really like to see a side-scrolling proper Kirby game on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it was multiplayer, like maybe it's, Kirby's can drop in and drop out and play with you.
Oh, I don't think Nintendo is capable of making a side-scrolling game that's not multiplayer these days.
Yeah,
well, that's true.
What if it was like that? What's the game that just the freebie game on 3DS that just came out? I'm blanking on that. Anyway, the
fighting game,
the like boss battle game. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it.
It is good. I would totally love it if it was a continuation of Planet Robobot, because that is the best Kirby game ever.
Mhm.
Wow. Did you play Triple Deluxe?
I did, and it
Better
was
than-
not as
no.
good as Robobot.
Yeah, Robobot's better. I would.
Triple Deluxe was
Played
like
Robobot?
super easy, and Robobot actually had a little bit of challenge to it.
Have you played Robobot, Josh?
Yeah, I played both of them.
Yeah. You think the other one was better?
Robobot felt a lot like the same thing to me, except with robot stuff that I wish was used more often.
Except with Robot. Yeah. So it was.
I liked it though, but I felt like I really wanted him to go even crazier with the robot stuff.
That's true. They could have leaned into that more. That's absolutely true. Right on. I would love that Kirby game for Switch would be super fun. Right on. Marty, what is your prediction? The 5th.
Well, since Kirby is gone, I am going to predict that Fire Emblem Warriors will be delayed.
Oh, you're a bad man. All right.
But not in a bad way, like a delay, like with no reason. It will be one of Nintendo's very polite, please understand, and then it will come out and it will be even more amazing than it was going to be.
Please understand.
Okay. Yeah. They
Mainly because did we not see Hyrule Warriors delayed? Like, it was announced super early, and like remember it was like
Yeah.
here's this working title that ended up being the real title, I think, and then like you didn't hear anything from it really for like another year.
Did you see the
And I know that there's been news on it this week,
Yeah.
but I just like, okay, they say that's a 2017 title. Where does it fit?
September, October.
Maybe. September is probably more viable than October because October is too close to Mario Odyssey.
I think those are totally different audiences, though.
I do too, but I mean, if you look at their strategy, I mean, it's kind of like you said earlier, they're focusing on one thing at a time. So, there was March, was the Switch, Mario Kart was the end of April. It was almost 2 months later.
Yeah.
Then it was Mario Kart onto ARMS, onto Splatoon, which I'm really still surprised is coming out in July. And then there's a big gap until Mario or whatever. Maybe it is Fire Emblem, but I think it'll be delayed. I don't want it to be delayed. I think out of all the games that they're working on, that if anything is going to have to delay to like shift over to something else or to give resources somewhere else, it's going to be that one.
Very cool. Alrighty, Jesse, we're gonna pass on you again. I'm just messing with you. Justin, what is your 5th prediction?
Yeah, I've got a couple just now, like oddball crazy ones. I think this is sort of Nintendo related. I think that Sony will show off their Nintendo Switch competitor.
Ooh. Okay.
That is all I have to say about that.
I can see that happening, but I don't know if they would have been able to do it this soon. I think they would have been maybe a little wary of whether or not Switch would be a success. So I think they're working on that, but I don't know if they're ready with it. Of course, they're going to rip off Nintendo because, I mean, that's true tradition.
Yeah.
But and they'll make it crappier.
But I do think, yeah, you're right, Josh. We may not actually hear about it, but I do think it's in the works for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
then I'm going to give you my other like final wild crazy one. Not actually going to happen, but like I think we'll see it eventually. Is the Nintendo VR headset, which is basically the goggles slide in the screen, and you've got the Joy-Cons in your hands, and now you've got your VR set up.
And you think that's coming this year?
No, I think it's eventual, but I'm gonna just I just want to throw out some wild and crazy ones.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like if that's the way they do it, Nintendo VR is gonna suck, because that is so low resolution for a screen for VR. The Switch screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why I believe they're gonna do that, because I don't think they're gonna really. I don't think they're going to be like, well, wait a minute. For VR, you have to have a really, really high resolution screen for it to look good. They're just going to be like, oh, look at this. You can slide the thing into the goggles. We did it.
And solved.
And the only things that they've said about it too, the funny thing is like the only comments that Nintendo's, because they've confirmed that they have been working on this behind the scenes, that they have some sort of a Nintendo VR thing, and the only issue they've had so far is, we just can't really get over the fact that you have to sit for a long time, and we don't like that. Like, it's not that the resolution sucks, it's that you have to sit with this thing on your face for a long amount of time. And that's the hurdle that they say they've been trying to get over. So the fact that the resolution sucks is not
also I've played at a friend's house. I played the Vive, which also requires like cameras to be set up on like your ceiling and stuff to really get the like optimal experience. It's an amazing, really fun experience, like to play with the Vive. But it's like, I feel like anything less than that would just be a total waste of my time, and I wouldn't want to use it. So unless you're going to make that the limit or go higher than that, I feel like I don't even want them to mess with it, really.
They're going to call it the new Virtual Boy XL.
Yeah, there you go.
The new Virtual Boy XL with Knuckles.
With Knuckles. XL.
No. No. Stop this right now.
Galaxy
Stop.
Edition.
Instead of giving you headaches, it's going to give you neck cramps, the XL version.
Oh.
Your neck is just going to be destroyed.
Yeah.
Slap an iPad Pro in your face.
Yeah.
You get the same effect.
Yeah, I think if they were to do it, they'd need to have a higher resolution screen for sure. Okay, let's go. What do I have here? Okay, so I have just a couple more. If we're just doing our crazy predictions at the same time. These aren't necessarily crazy, they're just maybe a little bit more ridiculous. I'm going to say there's going to be Rabbids amiibos for this stupid Rabbids game. There's going to be amiibos.
Stupid Rabbids game!
This ridiculous Rabbids game. I would prefer a line of cards, but I'm sure there'll probably be figures. I'll redact that, or I will take that back. I actually am a little bit interested in this Rabbids game, not to the point where I'm like super excited, but the Josh, the sort of just crazy colors and crazy art design.
You're like a child. You're just impressed by the colors.
No,
It's so
It's
pretty.
so pretty. Oh, wow.
Right, I mean just the bold sort of the color palette, the
art style and stuff.
the
Yeah.
art style, yeah, for sure. Yeah, if I say the word color palette, it makes me seem much more sophisticated than if I just pretty colors.
I see. My theory is this: there are games that are good, there are games that are dumb, and then there are games that are so dumb that they become good.
Good.
And this is going to be one of those. Like, I hate the idea that apparently, like, the Princess Peach Rabbid, like, dabs or something, and she's got her selfie stick or whatever. But
No,
like,
that was Donkey Kong, I think, that supposedly dabs.
oh, that dabs? Okay. Well, I would ordinarily, in any other situation, I'd be like, oh, man, no. But it's almost like it's so dumb and bad that I'm just going to embrace it and love it for how stupid it is.
I think it could be really, yeah, exactly.
Because I think it's making fun of how stupid those things are. That's what the Rabbids have always done. They're always parroting humans and our ways of what we do and like what's famous movies and stuff. So it's not like embracing the idea of dabbing.
Self-aware, yeah.
Right. It's mocking how stupid dabbing is and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, I like it. It's very self-referential and self-deprecating. But I definitely think there will probably be amiibo for that.
Oh yeah, and they'll be amazing.
And they'll be in Smash when they come through.
Now that will upset some people, I think.
Yeah.
And that'll be their taunt. Yeah.
I do think that they are going to show off some stuff. Like, they do need to show off stuff for 2018 beyond Mario Odyssey. And I think that that's kind of what we said with the Metroid and the Animal Crossing, stuff like that. And finally, I just have 2 words. I said this on Sean's show as well, but 2 words: dank memes. Throughout their presentation, whatever they're going to be doing, I'm talking non-specific action figure in the vein of puppets, in the vein of the what was it? The Robot Chicken. Dank memes somehow will be present, and maybe this Rabbids thing alone probably suffices to fulfill this rumor. But just ridiculous stuff. We're gonna see, the Bill Trinan in the beard or whatever we had last time. It's just
I was thinking that would probably be more along the huge 3DS presentation they had. Like, I can't find my 3DS. And there's just stuff like that. I don't necessarily expect like Reggie to come out and turn into Falco again.
Nothing will ever beat that Jim Henson Star Fox thing. That was so amazing.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
It was.
So that's that. I think that we're gonna have Nintendo of America unable to not be themselves and have their ridiculous stuff also there. So, so yeah, that's that. I guess that's kind of what I've got. Anybody have any? Josh, do you have any sort of final, honorary or sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Honorary mentions. Is that the word?
I do actually. I have one game.
That's what I have. Okay.
I have absolutely no logic in saying this game's going to be at E3. I don't necessarily think it will. I mean, it's not impossible. But I want to see a new Mario Baseball. Mario Baseball is my favorite Mario Sports game. Mario Sports have been in the dumper, as far as I'm concerned, for quite some time. And I think Namco is kind of freed up. They worked on Smash, and if they're not working on Smash, then that team could definitely work on Mario Baseball. And I think that'd be a really nice first Mario Sports game on the Switch. I think a lot of people would like a Mario Strikers as well. Either one of those would be pretty great, as far as I'm concerned. Make Mario Sports great again, please.
Nice.
I think Justin would like to see a rugby in the package.
They never do it well. They never do it well.
Isn't that in the Mario Sports Superstar? Didn't they do something like that?
They did for the recent, I think, Olympics, actually.
Oh, there you go. That's what I was thinking about. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That wasn't very good. I didn't play it.
You know what? It's pretty hard for, I think, anyone to actually do a really good rugby game. Like, it's just too much going on there.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned this before, but I watched it a little bit on TV on like an ESPN Olympic rerun hour, and couldn't hear any commentary. I just watched the video, and it just looked like full contact keep away.
Yeah, I could see that.
Nice. Marty, did you have any other ones as far as?
Yeah, I've just got one other. I think there's going to be a place during Nintendo's presentation, or even during the Treehouse, where they pause to talk about the Switch as a multimedia device and announce the release of Netflix, Hulu, etc., and when they'll be coming to the Switch.
Yes, I would be very happy about that, actually, because I am tired of having to have the Wii U plugged in under my TV for Netflix.
I would say my note that I wrote down when I originally wrote this was by end of summer.
Okay.
But I think that possibly, this all coincides with that big operating system upgrade that Justin was talking about. We're going to drop the new OS on you. We're going to talk about the multimedia services. We're going to hint at the Nintendo Cloud. Bam.
Boom.
Nintendo Switch goes into the fall feeling fresh.
Amazing. Right on. Very cool. Anybody else have any final stuff? Justin, I think you got your last deals in too. And I
did. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's head into what we've been playing, shall we?
Do it.
All right. So an hour and 47 minutes in, we begin our what we've been playing.
Justin is up now.
Please understand.
Yeah, right? Now I'm awake.
So, Josh, let's start with you. What have you been playing, good sir?
I have been playing some summer-related games, actually, fellas. As you know, I love the summertime. I have been playing a game called Gift Pia, which is by the people that made Chibi Robo and Captain Rainbow. Gift Pia is a game where you play as this boy named Pakal, and I guess in Japan they have a coming-of-age ceremony when you're a man. You get to have like some sort of party or something. And he misses it. He sleeps through it. And it's all based on this tropical island. And the mayor is like, you missed your coming-of-age festival thing, and it cost us tons of money. You're going to be thrown in jail, and then you have to work off the money. And it's like every other Skip game where there's just tons of crazy, weird characters. And I just love niche, quirky games. I want him to make more. But I've been playing a lot of that. And then I've also been playing some Wii Sports Resort. We talked about that a little bit on the show. I can never get enough of that. That is a constant summer thing. Me and Nick, my friend, he's done stuff at the BitBlock. We text back and forth our high scores in that game, like at 3 a.m, and we're like, "You beat my disc dog now, sucker!" And we're like going back and forth with these ridiculous high scores. Like the table tennis, there's like a stamp in table tennis where you like have to do 100 rallies without hitting the guy in the face, which is like one of the hardest things to do. I've tried for like 3 summers to do it now. So been playing a lot of Wii Sports Resort and Giftpedia.
Is this Giftpedia, is it a Japanese only game?
Unfortunately it is. Yeah, it was actually, they were working on translating it at like E3 2002 or something, and then they never translated it, unfortunately. So I am playing it in Japanese and really not totally knowing what they're saying to me, but I've read all the information online, so I do know what they're saying to me. So it's a weird thing.
Nice.
Did you Google it or something?
I did. I just looked at the trailer and I'm like, what is this? Like,
It has.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's got a lot of Animal Crossing elements in it, oddly enough.
Looks like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Right on. Well, Justin, it's been a while since you've been on the show. What have you been playing?
The major thing I've been playing is the ARMS Global Test Fire. That's kind of been the major thing that's been on my docket as of late. So I had a pretty good experience with it this weekend. I know we're probably going to have a bigger discussion, but yeah, I had a pretty good experience. Only played in handheld mode. And
motion controls at all?
No, I didn't at all. The television was being used, so I just picked it up and jumped on the couch and played in handheld mode. And I thought it was quite enjoyable. It actually made me kind of pull the trigger on deciding to pick the game up.
Nice. Yeah, I think we might as well all. Did everybody play it this weekend? Like, did anybody not play it?
I did not.
Oh, okay. No, it's fine. Yeah.
I said I wasn't going to. This shouldn't be shocking.
No, it's fine. Yeah, so I also played it. I played it 3 different times, and I tried to use a different control scheme every time, at least a little bit. I actually feel like the best control scheme may actually be the and I don't have a pro controller, but when I actually enjoyed it the most, playing it in handheld or playing it with the motion controls. I can't decide which one. Playing it with the Joy-Con sucks, so that shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. But the only way to do your punches with the Joy-Con is just with the bottom and right hand button, like on the face buttons. I never know what to call them because they're different depending on which Joy-Con you have, but you know what I mean, the bottom button or the right hand button.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Those are the left and right punch, and then the dash and jump are up and left, which is there, especially on the Joy-Con, is very cramped, and to do any sort of real maneuvering there. But playing it in handheld mode, I thought was really good, especially because you can use ZL and ZR as punches, which feels pretty good. And then, of course, the motion controls. I played a ton of that, which was really fun too. So, Justin, how do you you said before you weren't interested in it and you weren't sure, and now you are?
Yeah, I think I was loosely interested in it, but I just didn't know what it was going to actually play like, and I was quite impressed actually, just the kind of level of depth that was actually in the game.
Yeah.
I felt there was an actual strategy. It wasn't just a waggle, or at least in this case, it wasn't waggle. There was a bit of depth to it. I gave the controller to Morgan, my youngest, and she loved playing it. I think one of the things I like about it especially is that, you're talking about before the color palette and the depth and the colors. I think it's very approachable for kids in that way. So I think sometimes when I think of traditional fighting games in the past, which I'm happy Nintendo does not really do a lot of traditional fighting games, there's this kind of over-sexualization of women, and I don't really necessarily see that as much in this game, which I think is great. Very quickly, my youngest was, I want to be Ribbon Girl, and she's so, cool. So I thought that was really, really approachable and great. I thought the controls were pretty easy. She was, she was telling me, she's like, "Daddy, I'm beating this guy and this guy and this guy," and she was doing a great job. She was just killing it. And then I thought, they had the volleyball match game in there as well, and I thought that was fun. I liked
volleyball. Me and my son, every time the volleyball would come up, it'd be like, "Oh, we both."
I liked the being tied or being tethered to somebody. I thought that was kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
And then even like 3 on or 3 people fighting, I thought was very interesting as well. So there was a lot to it. I was actually quite impressed by it. So I'm pretty happy with it.
I really like the lobby in that, like as you're kind of waiting and you're all kind of put in there together, but then it kind of it matches you together. I don't know if you played it all. My son and I played like 2 full hours of the Test Punch.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting because we both are in there, but you don't both play every game. So we would play together on a team for one, and then it would sit there, and then it would just pull me into a one-on-one match with somebody, and then it would be pull just him into a match, or it would pull him into a 2-on-2, but he'd be playing on a team with somebody else. And so it was interesting. It was like it would mix it up, and so it wasn't just like me and him playing together on the same team every time, which as a parent, I actually have to say I really appreciated that I didn't, and I mean, I love playing video games with my son, but it would mix it up enough to be like, to not have every single match be, dude, you dropped the ball again. Dude, you dropped, right? Like playing with a 6-year-old kid and being like, okay, like I actually had the opportunity still to play like a one-on-one match with somebody else, while still also having the opportunity to play games with him on the same team too. So I really like that. I really appreciated that. I
love this idea of you like, seriously, Nick, quit busting my balls.
Dude, the ball landed right in front of you. Why did you not hit it and throw it over the net? Yeah.
Your mother and I never really wanted you.
Oh.
It just escalates.
I kept having to tell my son, okay, back up from the TV. All right, back up from the TV. You like he would just start punching, and he would just it would just be like each punch carried him closer to the screen, and he would just like, you're gonna go through the screen. You're gonna punch the TV. Please stand back. Please stand back. And it was like almost every 5 minutes, like, you're too close. You're really too close. I don't understand how you can see it. You're too close.
Reminds me of my son when we first got the Wii, like 10 years ago. He would be playing and standing and up and jumping around while playing. I can just imagine if he was doing that with a punching game, he would have done the exact same thing.
Yeah. It was it was interesting. It was definitely weird, but so that's all you've been. I don't know what. Josh, did you play this?
I did play it actually, and
I didn't like it.
Well, so it actually had kind of the opposite effect on me than it had for Justin. Going in, I was actually kind of in a bad mood, and so I was like, just play this or whatever. And it actually won me over in like a matter of 30 seconds. Like I was like, oh man, this is actually really fun. And it was kind of reminding me of like the early days of playing like Wii Sports for the first time or something. I was like, wow, and I was like actually moving my whole body to lean around and stuff when I was getting into it and just having a lot of fun. But I kind of walked away from it feeling like I don't know that I would want to spend $60 on that, and I don't know that I would play it for a very long time. I kind of felt like I wish this was like a mode in a bigger package. Like if they were just like, hey, here's Nintendo's characters, they have different body parts that are springy for things. Like if they had a soccer mode in this, and like, you know what I mean? Like if they had springy legs as well or something like that. I just feel like this seems like, hey, we took one game out of Wii Sports Resort, we fleshed it out more, and we're selling it as a full price title. I don't know that that's true. I've been told by Roger that I'm an idiot for thinking that, and that it is in fact worth the money. But just for me, I was like, that was really fun, but I feel like this demo has given me my fill of the game. And now the next demo that's coming out like June 2nd, which is like tomorrow now, my time, or today for Justin maybe, I don't know where he is. But that one is going to have even more modes now. Like we played the volleyball, now they're going to put in they're changing up from volleyball to the basketball one, and then the target shot thing or something. So I really feel like, man, after these demos, I don't know that I'm going to really care to buy it. I'm going to feel like, all right, that was really fun. Maybe I'll buy it when it goes down in price or something. But I do like it.
Yeah, I don't think that I would be able to. And trust me, I'm the boss in my house, but I don't think my son would let me not buy this game. It's something that I am actually really looking forward to playing with him. And I don't necessarily see myself standing in front of the TV doing motion control fighting by myself, but I can see myself playing in handheld mode by myself or playing with him with the motion controls. So
Mhm.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it comes down to for me. Like, I want to be able to play it with other people, like locally, friends and stuff. I don't really think it's the kind of game that would be really fun to play online a lot. I feel like it's kind of like, if Wii Sports was online, like, why would I want to play that online? I don't know.
The other thing that I wonder about, if they are going to be serious about a competitive scene with this, is there is no way to see how the other person is controlling this game, and that is something that I think the online competitive scene is going to care about. Like, what is the optimal way to play this game?
I remember Mario Kart Wii told you what the opponents were driving as. I don't know about Wii U. I don't remember.
So like, if this person is playing with the motion controls versus playing with a pro controller, there's a big difference there as far as response time and how much movement you have to do in order to put an input into the game,
and the variation in the embarrassment level if you lose against one versus the other.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
if you lose against someone with motion controls, you feel like an idiot.
Well, actually, just last night, Roger told me that motion controls actually have advantages over the standard buttons, that they're actually faster. I can't remember what he said exactly, but he said, like, dodging or just like moving around with the motion control is actually faster than without. Something is like way faster with motion.
I can imagine like steering your, like that it would be more intuitive.
Oh, moving your punches, like turning the punches, and he said later on in the game that's something that becomes really like crucial, and trying to do that with the normal standard controller is just not the best time.
It's kind of like how you could play Splatoon, the first one, without the motion controls, and you could get there, but like turning without the actual gyroscope controls was a real pain.
Yeah,
exactly. It was slower. Yeah,
absolutely. Right on. Cool. So that is the Global Test Punch. Anybody else?
I played, and I gotta be honest, like the first match, like I got done with it, and I was actually at a friend's house, and we were just hanging out waiting for some other guys to get there, and I was like, do you mind if I jump on and play? And no. So he was okay with it, so we all jumped in, me and him, and he's like, I'll play with you. And I played that first match, and I just remember just like looking at him with this huge grin on my face and saying, this game is awesome. Like, I knew it was going to be good, and I've said for a while I think it's going to be the next Splatoon, like that kind of breakout hit that nobody expects. But I really, after playing it, I felt even more confident of that. Like, I felt very confident in saying that continually. I think this is going to be a game that, unfortunately, is probably going to be a sleeper hit. I think there's a lot of people who are going to pass on it because they look at it and they go, oh, it's just guys with spaghetti arms. Or it's just Wii boxing, but it's not. It's actually a full-fledged game that has depth to it and has a lot of strategy. Now, I will say this: out of all the modes that I played, I hate volleyball.
Yeah, I do too. Actually, I agree with you on that.
It's so it just felt so. And maybe it was just because the demo or the test punch matches were so constrained, but it really felt arbitrary and throwaway. Like it just kind of felt like we're all just like swinging as fast as we can, and not great. Yeah. I do want to see how the basketball works. I think that one to me will probably be a little bit better, but and I really hate 2-on-2 matches. They're terrible. That being tied together, if they get knocked far back, you get pulled with them. You can hit the whole thing would be solved if you could punch through the people that are on your team. Because when I ended up playing it on day 2, my son and I ended up in a lot of 2-on-2 matches over that hour, and he was constantly in front of me. Like, I would move intentionally to get around him, and the whole time I'm trying to get around him, I'm getting thrown, or I'm getting hit, or I'm getting targeted. And it's just, I don't know. It was not my cup of tea. And then the 3-on-3, like the 3-player matches, I think were better and dealt with that a little bit better. But, like, I will say this. I think the worst part of the test punch is the ambiguity about how do I target another player.
You push up on the left.
Well,
joint.
yeah, but I mean, I saw tons of people online saying, "How do I target another player?" Like they didn't really make that as clear as it could be.
I never learned how to do that through the whole test punch. So when I was playing you know what's even worse than the 4-player? The 3-player is really bad especially when you don't know how to switch.
Well, I just kept telling my son was playing. I let him play a lot during that second hour by himself, and I was like, yeah, just go try it. I was watching him, and he would be in a 3-player match, and they would be just wailing on each other, and he's at the top of the stairs just standing there. and he's like getting closer, and I'm like, no, wait till one of them kills the other one. Just wait. He's like, no, I got to go down there. I got to punch them. And it's like, no, you don't. Do you not understand? You want to win. Don't go down there. And then he'd go down there, and he would get eliminated first. But he wants to play with the if he the boomerang arm doesn't do a lot of damage. He's like, man, I like the boomerangs. I'm just going 2 boomerangs. Boom.
And you're like, no, you need something else.
Oh, you've got to have the heater, or you got to add something else. No, I'm good. 2 boomerangs.
Yeah, he wouldn't like strategy games very well, does he?
Well, he's 10, and yeah, he's 10, and he has the mentality of an 8-year-old. So, yeah, we're still in those decision-making, capabilities there. We're still working on that. But I really liked it, and this will be a day 1 pickup for me. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Probably digital too, just so I don't have to fool with the cartridge.
I have been doing digital since the Switch launched. I haven't picked up a single thing since I got the Switch, other than Breath of the Wild and 1-2 Switch. But EB Games in Canada has a pre-order bonus that is ARMS sleeves. That is like like the sleeve, whatever, nylon, whatever they are, that are printed. One of them is Springman, and one of them is Ribbon Girl, and it's just a pre-order bonus. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how can I I'll see if I can find it. They're pretty ridiculous.
We never get any cool pre-order bonuses like that.
Yeah, either do they.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is that it's such a weird thing.
I really, really hated that with Mario Kart 8, there was no all of Nintendo of Europe countries got the blue shell, that you could get with pre-orders. Nothing over here. Just at least just
awesome.
Make the option there. At least give us the option to have it.
So I just posted it in the Skype chat. They're so ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. This looks like something you would wear on
the street to a job interview. What?
Yeah.
What
yeah. I don't know. I was going somewhere, and I can't even
And then you saw them, and you were like, I can't think anymore. I was blown away by how awesome those are. Yeah.
Oh, there's the ARMS hoodie.
Yeah, that's even
As
more
well.
amazing.
Oh my gosh. Yes, please.
Zach's all in.
Yes. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, but those are pretty cool. Another thing that you and I both played, Marty, we got a review copy for this, just came out. I don't even know how much this game is normally on the eShop.
It's like 15.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, that's interesting. So
that gives us a little bit of a sense of how Zach already feels about the game.
So the game is called Astro Duel Deluxe. And Marty, how would you frame this game? It's
competitive asteroids.
Okay, there you go. That's a good one. And basically, yeah. So have you played much of this game yet?
I was about to say, basically, it's the most fun I've had multiplayer with my Switch.
Really?
Oh my gosh. Absolutely the best time. I've again was at a friend's house the other night after the ARMS test punch went off the air, so to speak. some friends, we all gathered around, and I was like, so I've got this game. It's like competitive asteroids. And they were like, yeah, that sounds cool. Let's try it. And we played for over an hour, yelling at each other, running around the room. It was just so much fun, So basically what this game is you are some kind of creature. There's like bunnies and there's box cat and chomper. So some kind of animals, and you're piloting these triangular shaped ships around an arena that is filled with hazards and asteroids, and you're trying to blow each other up. That's the whole premise of the game. There's power-ups you can get that you trigger with the A button, and they do things like a laser that shoots through obstacles, or my favorite is the joust, which gives you these 2 green like spikes on the side of your ship, and you can just go ram people. And then there's others like the other one that I really like is the proximity bomb, because the proximity bomb, you can lay it, and like anytime somebody comes by, it just explodes. And because of the HD rumble, it just feels so violent. The screen shakes and it like pops, and I don't know, like. What do you think about this game? Because I love it.
So I think that this game really, it really depends on correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no online multiplayer.
No.
There's no single player other than playing against computer. So
right.
This game is entirely dependent upon, do you have other people that you can play local multiplayer with?
That's right.
And in that sense, I think maybe that's why you got more out of it than I did. I tried to help my son play it and have us play it together, and I think his depth perception, or just sort of his hand-eye coordination, where they do the initial sort of test and you do the lap, right, in order to get all the way around to learn the controls, basically. He would get until he was going straight, and then when he'd have to turn, his brain just wasn't wrapping around the whole idea of like, no, keep pressing left. I know that you're going right, but push left. And okay, now you're ready. Screen, push left to go left this time, right? And like he was having a real hard time with that. So the controls were, I think, for me, like once you kind of wrap your brain around just general turn left to rotate one direction and turn right to rotate the other direction, of course you're gonna figure it out. But he wasn't really having that, and so I played it and it was fun. It really, really is dependent upon if you have other people to play locally with. I do like that it is very clearly designed to play this game with the Switch laying on a table and everybody kind of sitting around it, right? Like that, like you can even tell with how the text is presented on the screen. So it'll have it on the top, and then it'll have it upside down on the bottom, so that regardless of what side of the table you're on, you can read what's on the screen.
Yeah, here's a couple of things that I wanted to point out that I think are really interesting about this game. Number one, it's the first multiplayer game. Well, I guess besides Mario Kart, because you can have the switches connected together in LAN mode. But this is the first game that I've seen that has multiplayer featuring more than 4 people. There's a chaos mode which allows 6 people to play.
Oh wow!
And so that means you can actually have like a pro controller, and this is what we did. We had a pro controller and 4 Joy-Cons playing this game. So and actually we even could have put in a second pro controller because my friend has one as well. So but we didn't have enough players. The other thing that I think is important about this game is that this is one of the first Switch games, even indie, whatever you want to call it, that acknowledges that it has a dedicated touchscreen mode to play in this game.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, there's a touch mode which you're supposed to take the Joy-Cons off the Switch and set it down flat on a table, and people play by pressing on the screen. And when they do, your ship only turns in one direction for the entire game. So it's more of like a party game type thing, but it's really neat that they've kind of packed a bunch of stuff into this for $15, But I do see where your point is that, like, without it being online, and if you have a young family like yours, where not everybody's going to play all the time, it can't. That's a steep price tag.
Mm-hmm.
But now, like, if you're going to take your Switch a bunch of places, and I think this is a really cool game to show off the multiplayer aspect, like the tabletop aspect of the Switch. I'm glad you brought that out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I just had a super fun time with it, and I would recommend it. Like, if you love, like, it really, really reminded me of, like, summer nights, being at my friend Trey's house, playing Super Mario Kart until the wee hours of the morning with 2 or 3 other people, because, like, one game of this the other night turned into 10 games of this. It's like, oh, we just got to play one more, we just got to play one more. We just got to try this, or we just got to try that, or I think I can get you, or whatever. And just so much crazy stuff happening in the levels. I would highly recommend it if you're into that type of thing. Couch multiplayer is where it's at.
I can definitely see, Justin. I can't remember what this game was called. The Friday night arcade hell or whatever that game was that we played at the championships. It almost feels like it could be that type of experience where it's sort of that retro graphic style, with some ridiculous local multiplayer arcade sort of thing, similar to that. But
okay, be very cool.
But again, you can imagine having that game and not having anybody to play it with, and it just coming up with a big goose egg on enjoyment,
Right,
so,
for sure.
So yeah, right on. As far as other games that I've been playing real quick here, I guess I wasn't here last week when we talked about this, but I have been playing Fire Emblem Echoes on the 3DS. It is Fire Emblem. It is, I do like the additions. I actually have a video on our YouTube channel that I give my impressions about it. I'm not too much farther than I was when I uploaded that video, but I like the additions of the dungeons. It's interesting to kind of go through those dungeons and explore those, and it is also similar, or it's simpler than especially with Revelations, or with Echo. What is it called? Fates. Fates. There's a lot of complexity there. Echoes is a little bit more simpler, and it's more enjoyable. So I've been playing that. I'll probably come back and bring some more on that later on. Magikarp Jump. I think I'm level, I've probably had 18 generations of Magikarp in this game now. I've played a lot of it. It's really fun. It's super dumb. Has anybody else been playing Magikarp Jump? I'm noticing I'm losing my voice more here, but
yeah, I've been playing a little bit. Not like anything like on the Switch or anything, but I was actually pleasantly surprised that I liked the game.
Yeah,
it's so bizarre. I really there's just really no way to describe it. I mean, you raise a Magikarp and you put him in jumping contests.
Yeah.
What the crap?
It's funny. The first time that I attempted to get the fruit out of the tree. Have you done that?
No.
So you'll have these little missions that are you'd go and do your training, and then on the way back sometimes it'll cue a little scene, and one of them was, oh look, there's some fruit up on this tree, do you want to jump up and try and get it? And I was like, oh yeah, cool, this is whatever, let's jump up and get it. It's like, are you sure you don't want to do something or whatever? I was like, oh, whatever, just jump up and get the fruit, I don't care. And the Magikarp jumps up into the air, and all of a sudden a Pidgeotto swoops out of the sky and picks him up and flies off of them, and just my character's like, no, and then it's like a forced retirement. He's dead, he's gone forever. I was like, oh, this is terrible. So there's a lot of different risk and reward sort of things, oh, there's a Pokeball here, what is this? And then you go up to it, and Magikarp will go up to it, and no, it's a Voltorb, and then just it'll flash like an explosion, and it'll be like, Magikarp, no. And then you've got to go and fish up a new Magikarp because your Magikarp's dead. So it's just so dumb. It is so dumb, and I really enjoy it because of that. It's really funny. So I've been playing that, and then I think I've logged 80 hours in Minecraft. I think since it came out, which is ridiculous, but it's really fun, and I don't know. I'll talk more about that. I gotta rest this voice. Jesse, do you have anything else?
Not really. I've been playing more Persona 5. That's really about it. I finished the 3rd dungeon, and I am past the infamous July 7th date that Sega and Atlus threatened to put copyright bans if you stream anything past that date on YouTube.
So you will not be streaming anymore, is what you're saying?
Correct. I only ever did stream like the first hour and a half anyway. I thought about doing it one more time before I got to July, but never happened. So now I've missed that deadline.
Mm.
But it's good, and it's actually starting to throw twists in there that I want to know the answers to.
Nice. Right on. All right, and we are gonna have something with Rhyme next week, right? I think
Yes.
one of us is gonna be covering that at some point.
So can I talk about one more game?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I picked up Ultra Street Fighter 2 for the Switch.
That's right. Yeah. Sorry.
And so far, I'm pretty favorable with it. I mean, it's Street Fighter 2. I actually had one of our Patreon listeners message me over in the line chat this week, and he was like, "So, what about Ultra Street Fighter 2?" And I was like, "Well, do you love Street Fighter 2?" And that's really been my question. Like, if you love Street Fighter 2, like I do, like it's my favorite fighting game of all time. I think it will always be, mainly because like I'm so familiar with it. I played so much of it on the Super Nintendo that I love it. Like, you know, it wasn't long before, like, after I popped it in my Switch, like, I was feeling all the old timing, you know, like, okay, you know, if they fall down, I need to throw a fireball at this exact second, and they won't really be able to block it, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So, this felt kind of like a homecoming to me. The other thing is, there's just some really odd, stupid choices that Capcom made with this game. Number one, that it's $40. It doesn't need to be $40.
Dude, that was my pick.
$30 max would have been the top thing here. I actually traded in some games and had some GameStop credit, so I got it for $12. So, you know, not really that big a deal. But here's the thing: that they took out the barrel breaking game, they took out the car bashing game, which for no reason. The color creator is, you know, like the customization's actually kind of cool, except for the fact that you can't make any more than 12 colors for a character, which means that one of the preset colors for your character you're going to ruin. You know, like, you know, you have to save over another color. I think each character has like either 10 or 12. I think it's 10. So out of those 10, you have to pick one and do your customization over that. The other thing is that the way of the Hadou mode or whatever is garbage. It is hot, flaming, steaming, liquid garbage. It's video game diarrhea.
Tell us how
It's
you
so
really
bad.
feel.
Like, and the reason for it is like it seems so promising in the beginning, and like even watching the videos of like the Capcom guys doing it, you know, when it kind of leaked or whatever before, like it looked like it would be a lot of fun.
Don't say video game diarrhea and then leak in the same.
Well, I just did. So like it looked super promising. And then you boot it up and you play it, and it is the most unresponsive piece of trash, half thrown together mode. I was encouraged by the fact that it showed that, you know, at least the Switch can support Xbox 360 style Street Fighter 4 graphics. You know, but like you can do the Hadouken and you can do the Shoryuken, you know, the Dragon Punch, but like don't even attempt to do the kick. The game will just do the kick when you don't need it to happen. It'll just do it for you. Like, you'll throw a Hadouken and it'll just do the kick. for some reason, and then like you won't even be near any enemies or anything, but even changing the sensitivity and everything just doesn't fix it. I really feel like it was one of those things that they're like, just put this out and we'll do a update later and it'll fix it and then everybody will be happy. Overall, though, it's a pretty cool pack.
Isn't that what they did with Street Fighter V?
Yeah. Except those things that they were going to fix were called, characters and game modes. But anyway, not going there.
Too late.
It's a pretty cool package, I guess, for what you're getting. Not for what you're paying for it, but for it's still Street Fighter. It's a lot of fun. The online mode is it's going to take some getting there. I don't know if like the new Nintendo Online service will fix any of the latency issues or anything, or if they'll even care by that time. But I wanted a version of Street Fighter to play on the Switch that I could take on the go, and this is what it gave me. And so if you're looking for that, then more power to you.
Very cool.
I wouldn't pay $40 for it though.
The main problem I have with these the fighting games are I played them back in the 90s when they were in the arcades, and I got pretty good at the Mortal Kombats and the Street Fighter 2s. And when trying to play them at home, I can't play them on the little controller, so I would have to get a fight stick, and I'm not going to pay $150 for a controller that works with one game.
Yeah.
Even back in the Super Nintendo when I played, I had the Super Advantage joystick, which wasn't as big as the fight sticks are now, but it was good enough. It felt like an arcade stick more so than just a regular controller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right on. All right. Well, with that, I think we let's head into our community spotlight a little bit here, and then we'll get into some emails. So let me pull up a community spotlight deal. Where are we?
It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you are going to get.
All right. Wow, my voice is like gone. Josh, what is what's up?
Zach opens his mouth, and you don't know what you're going to get.
You don't? I have no idea what my voice is. Okay, Josh.
That'll help.
Here, I'll lower my voice. Josh, this is your chance to tell the people about you and what you do online. I'm not going to say anything else.
This is his second puberty.
I've run a Nintendo channel. Sorry, whoa, it's contagious.
Oh my gosh.
I run a Nintendo channel on YouTube. I've done it for like 10 years now, which is insane. And just cover Nintendo stuff. Although it's actually recently had a little bit of shift in focus, and I'm going to be focusing on more original Nintendo projects that are not really announced yet. Actually, this is maybe a good time to
do it.
Maybe a good time actually to talk about a little something with you gentlemen. I'm going to share my screen here. If I can.
I'm not seeing any video come through with you. Are you?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can share my screen. It doesn't look like it's. Why is it not? It's not pulling up the right screen. Okay, forget it. Listen, I'm gonna say it anyways though. So, did you guys see those Did you see that crazy leak of Smash Brothers screenshots? Like that Smash was coming to the Switch.
Yes.
You guys see those? Those aren't real though. I actually did those.
You did them?
You suck.
I did do those. I gave myself... And this is an exclusive Nintendo Dad reveal. This is an exclusive for you gentlemen.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, dude, that's amazing.
You were suspiciously quiet when we talked about this earlier.
I was. I was like, I don't know. This might be real. I don't know. Okay, actually, I think this might be work. No, yes, I don't know if this is working. I want to try to show you guys. Let me know if you can see my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
No.
Yes.
No, it's
There we
Is
go.
it-
Go.
Way up. Yep. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
so
Dude,
here's a little look at the Paper Mario stage I worked on. This is, not rendered, but it is. Here's what it would look like in the rendered scene, a little bit closer to that. But that is a little behind the scenes look at it there.
Dude, that is impressive. Like
You son of a Koopa.
I said, as soon as I saw that, I was like, "This is like I had actually thought Josh has reproduced stuff like this before, like when you did your make believe stuff, like with the Animal Crossing. I was like, I know that this is fakeable, but only a crazy person would fake something like this."
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So
And that
the
statement
rule
is
that
still true.
I made myself, I did two things. I was like, I want to make a leak for E3 because I love when that happens. I remember the old Nintendo On video, and I'm always like, that's kind of fun. So I want to do it myself. And I made some rules. The rule was it had to be very hard, so I had to pick the hardest game to fake, meaning I knew if I was going to do Smash Brothers stuff, it's going to be scrutinized beyond belief. There are so many hardcore Smash Brothers fans. Trying to convince them something's real is such a huge challenge. And then I also gave myself 1 day per screenshot. So that Paper Mario stage, that sucker was made in 1 day in about 6.5 hours. So that was the biggest part. Kind of just challenged myself to make this stuff as high quality as possible inside of 1 day. So it was a whole week of me just trying to kill myself, basically.
Oh, that's so good. That is amazing.
That's amazing, Josh.
Thank you.
Oh, that's just so good. Right on. I wish I had a voice to actually talk about it, but
And that is thank you for that exclusive. That is
Exclusive.
awesome.
I mean, I'm doing a video for right after we record this. I'm going to do a video talking about it and showing behind the scenes of making it. But it's going to go up tomorrow. You guys are the first ones to publicly know that those are 100% for sure real. Fake. I mean, fake.
They are real.
I don't know what
fakes.
they are. I don't know what they are even, and I made them.
they're real
That's
enough.
awesome.
Oh, that's so good. Right. That's
Frick.
well. Go over to BitBlock, everybody, and subscribe. And I'm definitely looking forward to that tomorrow.
This is also, by the way, I should point out, this is not just for the fake. I plan on doing tons of make-believe Smash Brothers projects like that. Original stages and remaking stages and even animating new characters and stuff. So it's going to be a whole big thing that goes on for months.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so good.
So instead of
You got
75 meters, we need to see 50 meters.
You got so many people's expectations hyped, responsibly, the
I mean,
the number of nerd
you
arcs that-
fooled me.
Oh yeah.
There is.
Question
There's
in the
one
chat-
mistake.
Question in the chat is, what did you use to create it?
So I used a program called 3ds Max. It is a 3D modeling program. You could also use something like Maya, which is another popular one. Some people use Blender, but I'm just really accustomed to 3ds Max. But it's a combination of a lot of programs. The modeling and all that is 3ds Max. What I just showed you guys there was 3ds Max. I use Photoshop. I use some Flash for basic texture design. So that's the thing. I was doing the modeling and the texturing in 1 day. By the end of the day, I pretty much fell asleep instantly in my bed after 6.5 hours of making a Paper Mario stage and Smash Run fakes.
So then, how did you? Do you mind me asking, Josh? Then, how did you release it out? How did you? Because how did you leak it properly?
I was. By the way, I'm gonna call this gentleman out. Roger knew about these being fake. Because I was
sure. Yeah.
No
I was
shocking
set-
there.
I was sending them to Roger to kind of judge. I'd be like, all right, is there anything in here that's really obvious? And one of the things that I'm really embarrassed by the way, is there's not a shadow in one of the screenshots for Yoshi in the target test screenshot. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's the most embarrassing mistake I could have ever made. but yeah, Roger was aware of that. I'm sorry, what was the question? I don't know.
How did you leak it out?
Oh, okay. That was the other thing. I was like, okay, I'm also going to be really tough on myself and put it on the worst place imaginable that would really, really judge these, and I put it on 4chan anonymously. So that was the other hurdle to get over.
Oh wow. And the thing is that once you're playing into the deepest hopes of the internet, and so many people want to believe it that it doesn't even matter that those, that there's little imperfections in it or whatever.
Yeah, it seemed like after time went on, less people were believing it. More people were like, no, it's fake, it's fake, it's fake. But it was really fun. It was a fun.
Did Andre know it was fake?
Andre knew that it was fake because I heard he actually contacted Nintendo about it, and Nintendo replied to him and said those are not real. So I'm just gonna say Andre cheated. That's
the official quote from Nintendo is fake news.
Fake news. That's fake news. I'm gonna get a job at CNN now, though. Now that I'm so good at this fake news,
because even Will posted it in the VG Tribune private Facebook page saying, "What is this?"
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of places posted about it. I made a lot of ad revenue for a lot of YouTubers as well. I want a percentage on that. All those YouTubers that made videos about it.
Oh man, well done.
That's fantastic. Well done, sir.
There's your exclusive little thing
Very
that I
much
teased.
so.
Well, and I think that also might now also be our title, #fake news.
Yep. Sense to me, man. That's, dude. Yeah, I'm just looking at these again, and it's just so well done, so good. Right on. Well, gentlemen, it is 2.5 hours in. Justin, I know you have life to get to soon. Do we want to
gotta drop off,
or what are we gonna do here? My voice I have nothing left.
I think we could probably. Why don't you do a couple of emails? We got some voicemails, and why don't you do those? But I'm going to drop, gentlemen. Josh, good to see you as always, sir.
Yep.
And when you come over to play some Pikmin Bingo, let me know.
Pikmin Bingo.
You can crash in my house.
All right, pizza party.
I got a spare bedroom. All right, I like it. We'll talk to you guys later.
All right, see you later.
Bye.
All right, so I am going to play these voicemails, and we can discuss them as they.
I'm actually not sure what the first one aired. That was more. It wasn't really a question. It was more of like nice criticisms. But I don't know. It's up to you.
Which one is that? Is that the short one or the long one?
It's the first one I have in the notes.
Okay, so the first one, there was one that was Sunday and one.
That was the first one that came in. The one that came in earlier today is the second one.
Okay, so let's go with the first. Okay, hang on. Sorry. Okay, so this is just a quick. Oh, come on, what's going on here? I had to pull it up on the app. Sorry, this is great audio, but it is what it is. Otherwise, you guys won't hear it. Is why I have to pull it up on my. But I wasn't logged in on the Google Voice app on my phone, so really.
Listen, who's running this show here?
I got it. All right, here we go.
Who's running this show, guys?
Oh!
Hey, Nintendo Dad, how's it going? Birth of Death here. I've got a fatherly question. I used to have the Game Boy. I haven't touched any other handheld except for the Switch, of course, until the new XL came out. I really didn't get into it, but my kids are starting to get into gaming more and more. They are boy 6, girl 8, and I'm surprising them with 2DSs when we go on vacation in a couple months. What would be some not really high-tech or detailed games, because my boy can't read yet. My daughter's pretty good at it. She's actually top of her class. But kind of curious about some DS, maybe even 3DS games that might be good for them. Keep up the excellent work. I love the podcast. I listen every week. Jesse, happy birthday, belated. I know I sent you on Twitter, but here's in person. Thank you. Have a good one.
Right on. Okay, so top the good games for younger kids. Josh, can you think of anything? What are your thoughts?
Well, some of the easy things would be like Mario Kart. I think is something anybody can pick up and play.
Yeah, a good one because it also has the download play.
Download play, yeah, you don't need 2 copies. I was also going to say, New Super Mario Brothers 2 on the 3DS, 2DS, whatever, that has download play to where they both could play it together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anything Mario is kind of a sure bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mario 3D Land. I think that would be an easy bet right there.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely.
Mario Brothers 2 or New Super Mario Brothers, whatever it is. New Super.
Actually, if he skipped until now, even both New Super Mario Brothers, you know, the DS version and the 3DS version would be good. And let's go back to some of the Kirby games. I mean, Triple Deluxe and Robobot are top of the class for Kirby games in the last few years.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, my son loved both of those games. Yeah, absolutely.
I totally think that you need to get your kids Fire Emblem. No.
No.
Maybe even the newest Mario Party game, the Star Rush.
Jeez, freaking autoplay ad for a scrub thing. Anyway,
Star Rush. I think would be good. It also has download play, and all 3 of them can play it together. Since I think he did say he has a 3DS XL, right?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so that one would be good. I mean, even Mario Kart like that. Maybe some of the DS WarioWare Touched comes to mind as well.
Can you get that on the 3DS, or are you just saying that if you can?
You
find
can
it?
get that on the 3DS, I do believe.
Yeah.
I think that was a. It was a.
It's not digital. It's, you know, you still have to find the old cart, but the 2DS and the 3DS will play DS carts.
Right.
It's not digital? I thought it was.
It's digital
No.
on a Wii U, which is
It-
horrible.
Oh, okay.
It
Which
was
is a
also
horrible
a
way
My
to play the game.
Nintendo reward. Yeah, it was a My
Right.
Nintendo reward that you could use too. So
Sure, that's why I have it. Okay. Because I was thinking I do have it, but it's a My Nintendo reward. I don't know anything else, guys. I'm drawing a blank.
Did he say that his daughter is older, or?
Yeah, daughter.
it's not like Animal Crossing.
I was just going to say, if she's older, I think Animal Crossing would probably be something she definitely would be into.
He said that she was top of the class for reading, so yeah, I would.
Then there you go.
and
good.
how-
That-
you know, especially with if she's a good reader for her age, maybe a Pokemon game might be a good age to start that.
Yep.
My daughter really, really likes Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer because of the design aspect for it, and as well because she can read and she really enjoys Tomodachi Life.
Or yeah, that's and the games like that are good for having, you know, actually kind of getting some good practice in reading because there's so much text in those games, right? Yeah.
Tomodachi Life actually talks too, though. It shows you the text, but the characters actually talk.
like a speak and read, right? Whatever
So
those-
that could actually be helpful in learning to read.
Voices in that game are the best.
they're so
They
weird.
are. They are.
They actually sound like my voice, is what they sound like.
Welcome to the Nintendo Dads podcast.
Yeah, they sound like.
It's pretty creepy. But now, because we've talked about it, I want to go play Tomodachi Life, so that's probably what's going to happen before I go to bed tonight. I'm just going to blow my island up and start over.
So
It'd be nice to have a Switch version of that game.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Gosh, dude, that'd be so weird.
Tomodachi Universe.
Oh wow. So hopefully that gives you some sort of an idea there. I really it's I appreciate the feedback, and I think this other one's like 2 minutes long. We'll wait on that. We also got your guys' predictions for next. I think maybe we'll push the predictions to next episode, and we'll have an episode based on the E3 predictions from the fans. So we're gonna pocket those until next week.
Wanna do the
There
Twitter
is one
question quick.
Yeah, let's do a quick Twitter question. Go ahead.
Okay,
Do
Mike
you want
G,
me to do this one?
Mike G asks, "Love the show, guys. Quick question: will future versions of the Switch have a slot for DS/3DS after the 3DS inevitably goes?"
Absolutely not.
And Zach
Way.
already saying no before I'm done reading, and I think we're all in agreement on that.
No way in hell. No. I think it's if it was ever going to have that, it would have it now, and it would disappear in future versions of the hardware.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Go back and do
Yeah,
that. No.
I'm not sure what the processor type is between one and the other. if it's like the PS3 and the PS4 did a complete architecture switch, which is why the PS3 games are not backwards compatible. I don't know if that's the same instance here, because that would, if it was, it'd be a lot of emulation, and the system may not even have enough oomph to do it.
Yeah, the only time that I've ever seen them go back and add backwards compatibility is when they were doing things like the Game Boy Player or things like that. But that wasn't even backwards compatibility. That was more cross compatibility with handheld systems. So yeah, I would say don't count on it. All right, gentlemen. Well, I probably will not speak for days. We'll see how things go. That's fine. This is what I sacrifice for you people. Josh, thanks for being on the show, man. It's been awesome having you on, and it's always a pleasure to spend some time with you to talk Nintendo.
Absolutely. The only thing that I don't like about being on the show is that I don't really get a chance to listen to it then, because I was in it.
Now you have to go a whole week without. And this this episode is almost 3 hours long. So everybody be grateful. Everybody be excited.
I normally don't go back and listen to the shows that I've been a part of either. Unless there's like something going like, hey Matthew, listen to this.
Yeah.
Like I'm definitely going to show them the what you said about the leak.
Right on. Okay, so right on. Well, thanks again, Josh, for being on the show. It's been exciting. Oh, we have a holy crap, guys, going on in here. What is this?
Sorry, it's nothing related to news or anything.
Never mind then. Okay, sorry that my ADD just kicked in. All right. Well, with that, everybody, thanks.
Someone gave you a link. You must click it.
Oh, there's a link. Yeah, no, that's. Right on. Well, thanks everybody for listening to the show. Josh, why don't you tell everybody one last time where they can find your work online?
They can find me at the Bit Block right here on YouTube. Well, I guess you might not be on YouTube when you're listening to this, but on YouTube.
Right on. Well, thank you very much for being on the show. And if you guys want to also find us online, you can do so on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at Nintendo Dads. You can email us nintendodads@gmail.com. If you want to find our videos, find our YouTube page, subscribe over there to get all of the latest Nintendo Dads videos, including our live shows every Wednesday night. If you want to call in and leave us a voicemail, it's 929-25-NDADS, 929-256-3237. Big thanks to OC Remix for music throughout the show. And, of course, if you want to change the world, go to iTunes, leave us a 5-star review. Written reviews are even better. And if you want to subscribe, you can go to iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and, of course, VGTribune.com. For me, for Justin, for Jesse, for Marty, and for Josh, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dad.